I have played over 3,000 hours of Stardew Valley, but I have not yet obtained 100% completion. Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome back to another 1 year Stardew Valley challenge. For the purpose of this challenge, we are going to try and complete every single Stardew Valley Steam achievement. Now we do have most of the Steam achievements unlocked, but we are going to start a brand new file and we are going to go for every single achievement you can get within the game. Perfection will just be the tip of the iceberg. Out of all the achievements we need, there are two ferociously hard achievements we have not yet completed. The first is the Prairie King. We need to beat Journey of the Prairie King, a very difficult minigame in Stardew Valley. The second is Vector's Challenge. We need to beat Prairie King without taking a single hit. But first, let's jump straight into our cozy farm. Let's start at day number 1 or work our way up to completing all of these Steam achievements. Like and subscribe for more content. It is day number 1 on the new Fennmont Farm. Now this is a modded farm type and all mods will be in the video description. The Fennmont Farm is absolutely huge and it will be very interesting to see as we get into the late game how much crops and animals we can actually put on this farm. But for now, let's make some space for crops. Let's put down a chest and put all of our tools inside. We are now going to roam around Stardew Valley, talk to the NPCs and collect as many forageables as possible. This is a 100% playthrough. That doesn't just mean getting perfection, it means unlocking every single Steam achievement this game has to offer, and there are many outside of the perfection window that we will need, including a lot of the ferociously hard minigame challenges. So at the end of today, we have our parsnips planted, we got a skill up in foraging, and we're straight into day number 2. Let's take a look at the help wanted quests. Robin is looking for the seaweed. We will oblige, of course. We are making our way to the beach anyway, so there's no harm picking up these help wanted quests. We do get a lot of fish today. The primary focus for spring is to get as much skill ups as possible while maximising profits. We do get a couple of seaweeds today, which is nice. We are going to talk to Willie. We're going to trade in all of our fish for 875 gold. Not enough for the fiberglass rod, but just enough for a training rod, which is going to come in quite useful today for getting lots of skill ups in fishing. Now the training rod won't let us pull up the more lucrative fish, but it will make getting perfect catches simple. Once we talk to Sebastian, the introductions quest is complete. We're now given a quest to give someone a gift, so we're going to give Sebastian a seaweed. He's not happy with that, but it doesn't really matter because we didn't have any sort of friendship accumulated with it anyway. We do get 100 gold for quest complete and a Neptune's glaive as part of a fishing treasure chest. This is quite the rarity, but I do feel that the Neptune's glaive is much more common at the start of the Stardew Valley adventure compared to the end. We are going to purchase a fiberglass rod today along with some bait. It just means we can put up a lot more fish, so we get a lot more fishing XP, and there's also a good chance we can get a lot more fishing skill ups if we get more perfect catches. We do get a lot of catfish today because it was raining. We also talked to Robin handing the seaweed, and that is our first help wanted quest complete. Now the help wanted quests are a great way to get money but also to get prize tickets. We pull up an eel and we get fishing level 5, we take Fisher. The next day we put up some carrots. Carrots are absolutely amazing for energy. We will keep all of the carrots we can get. We roam around the map and we pick up a lot of forageables today. We're then going to take a look at the quest board, and what we have here is Demetrius looking for us to pull up a total of 3 smallmouth bass. So we get working on that straight away. Talk to Demetrius, and that is another help wanted quest complete. That means the next help wanted quest will yield our first prize ticket. With all of the money we got from fishing, we purchased our first batch of kale. So we're going to hoe up the ground, plant the kale and water that up on day number 4. Before today is finished though, we are going to cut down a lot of trees, get another skill up in foraging. That means we can wake up tomorrow with maximum energy. Speaking of tomorrow, it's now day number 5, the mines are open. First, let's put up all of our parsnips, water up the kale and run straight into the mines. And we do have the Neptune's glaive, which means combat for the first good portion of the mines will be very easy. When we get to floor 10, we do get the leather boots. We're going to put those on straight away. Our first skill up in combat. We're off to a very nice start. Before today is finished, we make it down to floor 20. We pick up the steel small sword. We're not going to use that though because we have a far superior weapon. The next day is spent cutting down some trees. What we really want to do, especially for the early game, is get into the mastery tiers. So you're going to see lots of tree cutting. Reason being, it's probably one of the best ways to get foraging up. I do make lots of field snacks, it just means we can cut down a lot more trees before our energy gets sapped. We do fix up the bridge to the tide pool area so we get all the forageables down there. I'm going to make some furnaces today. We do need to start smelting up some bars for tool upgrades. The next help wanted quest is from Sam. He is looking for an earth crystal, and we have lots of earth crystals now from going into the mines. It's now time to start making a dent on the museum. It would be nice to complete the museum by year 1. We are going to spend 2,000 gold in Pierre's shop and get the first backpack upgrade. It was Mayor Lewis's birthday today, so Mayor Lewis is going to get a daffodil and Sam is going to get an earth crystal to complete another help wanted quest. For the good portion of today, we're going to head up to the lake area and we are going to fish up as much fish as possible just so we can get that nice money and nice fishing XP. Now, we do get a treasure chest today while we were fishing. Inside, we get a skill book called the Bait and Bobber. This just gives us fishing XP, but it gives us a total of 250, which is a lot early game, so it's really nice to get that earlier rather than later. The next day starts like most days, and that is the watering of crops. Now eventually, we will push farming to level 6, we will get our hands on those quality sprinklers, and that is going to make farming a lot easier for us. It's time for another help wanted quest. Haley was looking for a herring, so we went straight down to the beach. We got lucky here, we got some bubbles, and we managed to pull out a herring very quickly. We gave that to Haley, and she was very happy. We then spend the rest of the day up in the lake area, putting up huge amounts of fish. So what we're really trying for here at the moment is to max out fish before we get into summer if possible. The sooner we can max out all of our skills, the sooner we can get those mastery tiers. Some of the mastery professions are just simply broken, especially the combat mastery if we get the parrot trinket. We're now making more progress in the mines, and we come across our very first book of power today, and this is called the Monster Compendium, and this will give enemies a very small chance to drop double the loot when they are defeated. Now I believe the chance is only 4 or 5%, but because we're going to be destroying so many enemies, you'd be very surprised just how much this book will actually activate. We made very good progress today in the mines. We made it down to floor 40, we get the slingshot. We always throw away the first slingshot and keep the master slingshot for Ginger Island. We now get to harvest all of our kale. We're not going to get farming level 6 from this, but it is a step in the right direction. Now, we're going to sell all of this kale, we're going to make a good profit, and we are going to use that profit to buy even more kale. When it comes to making money, scale is probably the best tip I can give you. Purchase crops, grow them, sell them, rinse and repeat, and before you know it, you're a millionaire. That's how easy it is to make money in this game. I made a few more furnaces and we are smelting copper ores into copper bars. So we are going to visit Pierre now. I'm going to purchase over 170 pieces of kale. That means we have to hoe up more of the ground here on our lovely Fennmont Farm. Now this farm is absolutely huge. When I say huge, I mean it's probably at least twice as big as the standard farm. We don't use most of the space in the first year, but when we get into the second year and we get a lot more money, you're going to see the true potential of this farm. Now we do get a rainy day today, so we are going to fish for money and for fishing XP. We will go to Clint and we will upgrade our pickaxe to a copper. That's going to make getting down into the lower levels of the mines much quicker when Clint finishes off that axe for us. We're now going to spend the rest of the day doing tons and tons of fishing. We're getting lots of catfish, breams, smallmouth bass, shads and everything else in between. Demetrius pays his visit the next day because he smells the cash. We have a choice, the mushrooms or the bats. We're going to take the mushrooms this time because we're going the Georgia route and we can harvest mushrooms every 2 days. We also do the Easter event. We win, of course, we get the straw hat. If we do this event in year 2, we will pick up a prize ticket. When the event is finished, because it's Saturday, we're going to swing on down to the tide pools and we're going to collect all of these forageables before they get reset for week number 3. We are now halfway through spring. The morning starts with a collection of some parsnips. It's also Haley's birthday, so I gave her the daffodil. That's the best gift I had right now to give her. So that's 2 hearts up with Haley. It's also time to look at the help wanted quests. I needed to slay 11 dust sprites for 660 gold, and this one comes from Mayor Lewis. So we're going to go to Clint, get our copper pickaxe. Now I had 8,000 gold lying around, but I didn't have the resources to get a tool upgrade straight away. I needed to get more copper, etc. Now, we're already in the midsection, so this was just hitting 2 birds with the 1 stone. We're making progress in the mines, and we're killing dust sprites along the way. An early coffee bean would make this run so much sweeter, but we don't get the coffee bean today. We talked to Mayor Lewis. As a reward, we get 660 gold, and we also get some friendship points which is very nice. We make it to floor 60 today. We pick up the crystal dagger. We're not going to use that. We're going to stick with our Neptune's glaive. We do get a skill up in mining. We came across some copper deposits here. This was very nice. We can use this copper now to make copper bars. We can try for some more tool upgrades. When we get down into floor 70, we pick up the Master Slingshot. That will be kept for Ginger Island. That's probably the only time in this whole challenge I actually use that. I'm just not a slingshot person. We pick up a diamond on floor 79. It was very nice to get that. That means a triple shot espresso. When we got down the next floor, we get the Firewalker boots. They're the second best boots you can get in the mines here. We're now down into the bottom stages of the regular mines. We can start collecting gold ores. Gold is very important for the creation of quality sprinklers. To make a quality sprinkler, we will need a gold bar, a refined quartz, and an iron bar. Now, I burst open some crates today. I picked up quite the rare weapon. This is known as the Holy Blade. Now, the Holy Blade has an enchant on it called Crusader. It will do immense damage against undead enemies. So those enemies could be mummies from the Skull Caverns, or they could be ghosts from the regular mines. Now, its base damage is what lets it down. It only has a 20 to 27 base damage, so it's not the most impactful weapon. But if you come across undead enemies with that Holy Blade, that's where it truly shines. I decided to swap out the Neptune's Glaive for the Holy Blade, and this is something that we're going to use until we get our first prismatic shard later on in the challenge. The next day, we get to reap the rewards of the kale harvest. Now, it did take a lot of energy, a lot of time to water up all this kale, but now it's going to pay off. Not only are we going to get level 6 farming, but we can now make quality sprinklers the next day. Evelyn gives us a prize ticket for handing in an aquamarine. We are now going to get Clint to break open all of these geodes, and most of these items will be donated to the museum. If we want to 100% this game, we will need to complete the museum. So the sooner we get all of these items donated, the sooner we can start selling all of the excess to make lots of money. We're going to make even more furnaces today to increase our bar output. At the moment, we've got 5 furnaces. This is going to make it a lot easier to accumulate lots and lots of bars going forward. For the rest of the day, we're running around Cindersap Forest. We're collecting lots of salmon berries. We also really need to start thinking about how to increase our foraging skill. It's only level 3 at the moment. If we can get it up to 7, we can get 3 fertilizers. We also get the pot of gold here, down by the waterfall, and we are rewarded with the leprechaun hat. This is an Irish myth, if you're wondering what this actually represents. The myth goes that if you see a rainbow in Ireland, if you get to the end of that rainbow, there will be a pot of gold left over by a leprechaun. Trust me folks, it's not true. For the rest of the day, we are smelting bars and we are cutting down trees. We need to make as many quality sprinklers as possible. Now, because today was Wednesday, I couldn't buy more crops off the air. I had to wait until the next day. Because we have obtained 2 prize tickets from Help Wanted quests, we get the cutscene here of Mr. Key dropping mystery boxes. Mystery boxes can now be found through the many activities you can do around Stardew Valley. We also got level 5 farming. We're going to go with tiller for now, crops worth 10% more. Level 6 farming means we can now make the quality sprinkler. This is going to save us so much time and energy going forward once we have the farm leveled in quality sprinklers. Eventually, we can upgrade them to iridium sprinklers, but in order to do that, we will need a pretty good battery pack farm, and that's something we can look at in the future. Today starts with the creation of refined quartz. We need those to make quality sprinklers. For now, we can only make 5. We need more gold bars to make more quality sprinklers. I sold all of the kale manually to Pierre today just to benefit from that 10% perk I got the night before. I'm also going to purchase the final backpack upgrade because I had the funds to do so. With the rest of my money, I'm going to spend it on kale. 344 pieces in total. Now, the quality sprinklers we're going to make will absorb most of that kale. Today is spent primarily doing farm management, so I'm going to hoe out the spots where we're going to put future quality sprinklers. We have 5 down at the moment. Once all of these spots have been hoed out, we're then going to plant the kale, we're going to water it up, and over the next couple of days, you're just going to see a combination of me going to the mines, farming some ores, making some sprinklers, and by the end of the next week or 2, you're going to see this whole area just covered with quality sprinklers. We won't have to water any more crops for the foreseeable future. So, despite the fact that we do lose a whole day on doing this, it's absolutely worth it in the long run, because once all these quality sprinklers have been put down, we'll never need to water crops again. Maybe bar the first day of the season, but that would be it. Once we have the kale sorted, there's a few in-game hours left before we get into Friday, so we're going to go straight back into the regular mines to get as much resources as we can. We also make it down to floor 90. We pick up the obsidian edge. The obsidian edge is a fantastic weapon, worthy of bringing into the Skull Cavern. We also get level 5 mining. We're always going to take the +1 ore per vein starting out, because we need ores to make more sprinklers. The next day starts watering up the kale. It did take us a very long time. Once we're finished, we're straight back into the mines. We're trying to get as much ores as possible. Floor 93 was an infested floor. Now, it did pay off wiping out all these enemies. We did get a skill up in combat. That's level 5 combat right there. We'll take fighter. All attacks deal 10% more damage. The next day was a rainy day. Praise be to Yoba. We don't have to water the crops. We can spend the whole day inside the regular mines now, making progress and getting as much ores as possible. On floor 96, we got very lucky. We got a mushroom floor. Made it down to floor 100. We get our star drop. This first star drop is so vital because it increases our maximum energy. That means we can just do a lot more on a daily basis before we have to eat some resources to get energy back. Now, I didn't pass out in the mines today. I ran back to the farm to smelt more ores to make more sprinklers. The next day, as we can see, we now have over 50% of the kale covered with quality sprinklers. We still need to water a lot of the kale, but over the next few days, it's going to be less and less watering, and this tactic is going to greatly pay off. We're getting more diamonds today. I also made some cherry bombs with some copper ores that I found just to save energy and time, and I detonated a few deposits. The dehydrator came in real useful today. I picked up some dried purple mushrooms, 375 energy they give. So I'm in two minds about, should I sell it or should I keep it for the rainy day? You know, I mean, if my energy is basically zero, that's going to more or less get my energy right back up to 100%. I went to Marnet today. I sold him all of the weapons I'm never going to use, including all of the boots that are now redundant, because they were just taking up precious space inside my chest, and every single one of those items are worth gold, so why not? Now, we did pick up the skull key. I just didn't have the footage recorded at the time because my footage came back as corrupted, but just so you know, we have the skull key. We're in the midsection of the mines right now. We're farming up dust sprites for monster eradication goals. We're farming coal and iron ores, specifically iron to make more sprinklers because we actually had lots of gold ores, but I also wanted to make bombs for the future Skull Cavern run. I made some recycling machines today because from all the fishing I've been doing, I had accumulated quite a lot of trash, and those recycling machines are really good to convert a lot of trash into useful items. I also hold up a trilobite. I was very happy with that. You cannot get trilobites from artifact troves, so it's always nice to get that earlier rather than later. It was now time to get an iridium rod off Willy. Because I now had the iridium rod, I could get lots of tackles for it, including the trap bobber. It just makes getting a lot of the more difficult fish a lot easier going forward. We picked up the ornamental fan. We can trade it into Gunther, and we're now going to pick up all of these forageables down by the tide pool area. And then it was a nice stroll into the flower dance where we pick up the tub of flowers recipe, and we grabbed the rare crow as well, unique to this event. Now, we didn't have any relationships accumulated with any of the NPCs that would allow us to dance with them, so we just had to watch on the sidelines. For the rest of the day, we're just going to cut down more trees because we needed wood for more or less everything you can make in the game, and we also needed foraging XP. It was now time to reap the rewards. Look at our lovely farm, filled up to the top with quality sprinklers. We can also harvest the kale as well. Now, all of this kale, unfortunately, is not going to get us farming level 10, but it will get us farming level 9, so we can make iridium sprinklers if we manage to get battery packs and iridium bars. You can get those in spring, especially the iridium bars, but the battery packs are somewhat of a rarity because as far as I know, you don't get thunderstorms in spring. You have to wait till summer to get those. Now, you can get battery packs in Skull Cavern, but they're quite rare. They drop off a couple of enemies, especially the iridium bats. We will get the Georgia membership after selling all that lovely kale to Pierre. The next tactic is to unlock the bus as quickly as possible so we can start doing Skull Cavern runs. It's now time for Skull Cavern preparation, so we're back in the mid-levels now getting coal and iron to make bombs. We're also going to go to Clint and we're going to upgrade our copper pickaxe to a steel pickaxe. It just means we can two-shot most of the regular nodes in the Skull Cavern with that. We're then going to spend the rest of the day pulling up fish, trying to increase our fishing skill. So a lot of you are probably wondering why I haven't made a dish up the sea and pulled up the legend. Reason being, this is a compilation of Let's Plays that started a long time ago. I didn't know about the early legend strategy then. That's if you're wondering why we haven't gotten it yet. We do get level 9 fishing, just one more level to go and we get level 10 fishing. So on day number 26 of spring, we are going to use today to try to get level 10 fishing. We do get bubbles, which is really nice. We had 52,000 gold. Let's go to the Georgia Mart and get the bus upgraded for 40,000 gold. This means we can now access the desert anytime we want. The rest of the day is just spent pulling up more fish. We do get a book of power called Jewels of the Sea, and that means every time we put up a fishing treasure chest, there is a small chance that we will get raw equivalent to the fish that we pulled up. The next day was a rainy day. We're doing even more fishing. We're going to visit Clint. We're going to get back our steel pickaxe. We are now fully set to do Skull Cavern runs. We will now trade in our regular axe, upgrade that to a copper axe, so we can start getting hardwood. Maru wanted a leek as part of a Help Wanted quest, so we got that completed as well. Then it was back into the mines to farm up more iron ores. We then visited the desert trader. We purchased some troubleshot espressos and some spicy eels. We are going to do a Skull Cavern run today. Now it is 11 o'clock in-game time. This run isn't going to be the most lucrative run. We just want to get our feet wet in the Skull Caverns. We have one objective today, that is to make it class 430, so Mr. Key will give us 10,000 gold in the mail. And because it is a Skull Cavern run, you never know what you're going to get inside here. You can get prismatic shards, rabbit's feet, you can get slime eggs worth thousands of gold, you can get auto pedders, auto grabbers. You know, we got a purple slime egg in the treasure room today. I was extremely happy with this. I can sell that for an absolute ton of money. That's worth at least 5,000 gold. Now because we're still using the Holy Blade, as we can see, it takes a huge amount of swings to destroy those serpent enemies, but look what we got inside of a crate. We picked up our very first lucky ring. This is one of the rarest rings in the game, and to get it on our very first Skull Cavern run is simply extraordinarily lucky. That's a permanent increase to luck now for the rest of the game, +1 to luck. We visit Clint the next day, we get our copper axe. We're not going to upgrade any tools at the moment though, especially because we're extremely lacking on copper at the moment, and iron, because we used up most of our iron to make bombs. We visited the mushroom cave today. All of those mushrooms award foraging XP and makes a difference. We get level 5 foraging today. We're also in summer, so it's time to get all of the summer themed fish. We just get a super cucumber there today. The next day, we're doing some fishing by the river. We pick up the rainbow trout, which was nice. It was then time to talk to Clint yet again. We're going to get Clint to process all of the mystery boxes and geodes that they've accumulated so far by doing all of the Skull Cavern and regular mining runs. And all of these minerals will now be donated to the museum. What's more, if we make a big effort with the museum earlier rather than later, we're going to get access to Krobus much sooner rather than later as well. We also visited the desert. We had a chat with Sandy. We purchased a ton of starfruit seeds. While I was here, I fished up the scorpion carp as well as the sandfish, which are needed for both the fishing collection. The sandfish is also a loved item for penny, so it's always worth having a few of those lying around, especially if you have iridium quality sandfish. So in terms of who we're going to marry in this video, I did release a community post about it, and a lot of people recommended that I go ahead and marry Penny because she never gets the attention she deserves. So we will be trying our best to marry Penny in year 1 of this 100% completion challenge. The next day I made more bombs. We're going straight back into the Skull Cavern. I was determined to get a lot of iridium ores today to make some iridium bars. I picked up our first prismatic shard there as well, which was very nice. We could trade it in for the galaxy sword. The next day we were blessed with the green rain. You only get one green rain event per year, so we wanted to make the most out of that today. So as we spend the whole day literally running around Cindersap, cutting down all of these trees, getting as much moss and getting as much fibre as possible. It's also a great day to get some skill ups and foraging as well, because you get XP every time you harvest those big fibre bushes. The next day we met some tappers. I had a little tree farm just to the right of my house here, and all of these trees will produce oak resins once they're all tapped up. We need oak resins to make kegs. I paid Clint to visit today. It was time to upgrade our axe now to a steel axe. The steel axe will allow us to harvest those big tree stumps to get more hardwood. We then trade in our prismatic shard for the galaxy sword, and this is going to make Skull Cavern runs a lot easier for us. We're now going to visit Mars. It is time to get moving with a lot of the Georgia development projects. I unlocked the minecarts. The fast travel is going to save us so much time in game. I also visited Gus today and I purchased a lot more salads just to top myself up with healing for future Skull Cavern runs. We're now going to convert all of these gold ores into gold bars. We're back down in the regular mines today, farming even more gold ores. Not to make quality sprinklers, just to more or less sell. I was also focusing on early monster eradication goals, so fighting these bats will go a long way too. And I was more interested in bat wings than I was anything else because we need bat wings to make lightning rods. And lightning rods will give you battery packs when you get that stormy weather. It was then straight back into the Skull Cavern. There are a lot of Skull Cavern runs in the first year of this challenge. Now I got overconfident here when I got to a prehistoric level and these pepper rexes flamethrowed my character straight into Harvey's clinic where I lost 56 iridium ores and some other bits and bobs. So, you know, that's what happens when you get overconfident in the Skull Cavern, end up getting killed. I did get level 10 mining though, so we're now going to select blacksmith, 50% more for selling bars. We'll pick up the help wanted quest as well to slay some red slimes. For the rest of the day, we're going to do some fishing. We're very close to getting fishing level 10 and we achieved that today, which was very nice. That's one more skill that's maxed out now. We're going to visit Clint, we get our steel axe. This makes getting foraging up a lot easier because it's just less swings to cut down a tree. We're now going to get Clint to break open all of our accumulated geodes and mystery boxes. So it's just more items we get to donate to the museum. It was Gus's birthday today. We gave Gus a diamond. We're doing more fishing today. We get the pike for the first time and we also get the elusive Dorado, which is quite the rare river fish to come across. We now get access to the secret woods. Within, we fish up the wood skip, which is also needed for perfection. For the rest of the day, we're just cutting down more trees. I really want to get foraging to level 7 at least so I can make the tree fertilizers. We're going to take Angler for the level 10 fishing perk. The next day we get access to all these lovely iridium bars. Most of those will be sold just to get some really nice money. We then get to collect all these lovely coffee beans. Eventually they will be kegged into coffees and later they will be put together for triple shot espressos. Because we had steel pickaxe and the steel axe, we get access to the alleyway buffet. Then we're going to have a nice chat here with Marcelo and we're going to purchase the Way of the Wind Part 1 for a slight increase to our movement speed. And that increase is permanent. We're going to sell some iridium bars to Clint to get our gold up to 27,000. We're then going to visit Morris inside the Georgia Mart and we're going to unlock the bridge for 25,000 gold. This will get us access to the quarry and we're going to make use of all that lovely space that comes with it. So we just finished off the help wanted quest there by destroying some red slimes. We speak to Lewis here to get our reward. Lewis rewards us with 1,000 gold. More importantly though, we're getting some friendship points and one step closer to more prize tickets. The rest of the day is spent cutting down even more trees to try to get our foraging skill up. Not only are we getting lots of foraging XP, but we're getting tons of wood from this as well, and the wood is very important for kegs and other items later on. We put up our first legendary fish up the challenge, the Crimson Fish. We will get Robin to make a fish pond for that, so we get Crimson Fish Roll every couple of days. We get level 7 foraging, we can now make tree fertilizer, and that's going to be put to use straight away. I start off by making 10 tree fertilizers, and we're going to fertilize up these maple trees. We're also going to fertilize up all of these green rain trees as well. It's now time for the Stardew Valley luau. We do have a gold star surgeon, so we chuck that into the luau and that gives us the best response from the governor, and that's going to be lots of friendship points now with most of the Stardew Valley NPCs. We decided to visit the quarry cave today. We're fighting haunted skulls. These haunted skulls can drop some amazing items. They can drop magic rock candies, it's extremely rare. But did you know, my fabulous Stardew Valley community, they can also drop lucky rings, and that is our second lucky ring of the challenge right there. I mean, there's getting lucky, and then there's, you know, what happens to me, which is getting extraordinarily lucky. That is lucky ring number 2. That is +2 that our character now has for the rest of the game, which is absolutely insane. We get our golden scythe, we click on the statue and teleport out of the quarry cave. But we're not finished with the quarry today. We are going to plant tons of tree seeds. We're then going to make lots of tree fertilizer so all of these trees grow up very quickly within the next few days. We're then going to make some lightning rods because we need to start getting some battery packs so we can make crystallariums, iridium quality sprinklers, so on and so forth. It was time for another help wanted quest here. Willie wants me to fish up 4 red snappers. Today was the perfect day to do it because it was raining. You can only get the red snapper when it's raining during summer, so we are going to do that today. Because it was Saturday, we also pick up all of the forageables that were on the beach and that were also in the tide pool area. Now, I end up fishing here for the whole day, even after I pick up the 4 red snappers, because great money can be made down by the beach area in summer, especially when you start to accumulate a lot of super cucumbers. Willie started to walk past me while I was fishing, so I had a quick chat with him, and that was another help wanted quest complete, another prize ticket added to our stash of prize tickets that we've collected so far. The next day yielded lots of iridium bars and battery packs. We had the seaweed, we had the green algae. Robin was now going to craft the first fish pond for our lovely farm. We then went to the Georgia Mart and we were going to unlock panning. Panning is now extremely powerful because of the fact that you can upgrade the pan all the way to iridium. Monster eradication goal complete for the insects, which was very nice. A lot of monster eradication goals to go, but you gotta start somewhere. I also managed to get an ancient seed today as well from destroying insects, that was nice. I also found the final dwarf scroll needed to get the guide, so we can now talk to the dwarf in the mines, we can purchase wares from him. We then spent the rest of the day pulling up fish here down by the beach. I still hadn't gotten an opportunity to get the octopus, and we were now halfway through summer, so I was getting a little bit concerned. I thought this attempt right here was an opportunity for an octopus, but it wasn't. It was for the pufferfish. We're now going to visit Morris again and get the greenhouse unlocked. The greenhouse will come in fierce handy for starfish in the future. Because we had over 1,000 enemies defeated, we could enter the back room of the Adventurers Guild and get another Book of Power that reduces Marlin's item recovery source by 50%. We also get the rusty key off of Gunther because we had donated so many items, and we now also get to harvest all of our hard-earned starfruit. All of that starfruit will be converted into starfruit wine. The fish pond has also been created thanks to Robin, so we just churn in our first crimson fish there into that. That's going to give back crimson fish roll every couple of days. We're now going to go back into the regular mines. We're farming up iron ores because we want to prepare for another Skull Cavern run. We're also focusing down monster eradication goals as well. This is just a cutscene here of me coming across what I believe to be is a giant rat. If you think it's something different though, let me know in the comments. I just think it's a giant pregnant rat. I met some bombs today, 41 in total, and because we have access to the greenhouse, I also put down some ancient fruit seeds as well. We now get a lovely cutscene there where we are awarded with the Georgia Coda machine from completing all of the Georgia development projects. We're now going to get Clint to upgrade our watering can to a copper watering can. We get our first batch of crimson fish roe today, 780 gold per row. We will get more money if we preserve that, and if we have the artisan perk, we'll get even more on top of that. We're going to build a silo and give Sam a pizza for his birthday. Sam loves pizza. We now have Sam on 5 out of 8 hearts. We're going to go into the secret woods at the end of today, and we're going to farm even more hardwood. All those mahogany seeds will be put to use because it just means more hardwood for us. We're doing another Skull Cavern run today. We get a rabbit's foot from wiping out a serpent. That was incredibly rare. I came across a huge pack of mummies on floor 21. We're going to wipe out all of these mummies. We need to kill a lot of mummies for the monster eradication goals, but these mummies will also drop miner's treats. They'll also drop cloth along with lots of solar essences. It's just a great enemy to farm. Now, I didn't take those pepper rexes for granted. I took my time with them, wiped them out, got a dinosaur egg. I also wiped out a serpent to drop the red cabbage seed as well, which was nice to get that. We get our copper watering can off Clint today. We're going to now upgrade our axe to a gold axe because the higher we upgrade our axe, the less swings it takes to cut down trees. It just makes it easier to get more foraging XP. Clint will break open all these geodes, more stuff to donate to the museum of course. We'll get lots of iridium bars back today. It was Demetrius' birthday. I just gave him some forage bars, didn't really have anything else. I went down to the regular mines to put up more fish with the fishing collection. We get the ghost fish as well as the stonefish, which are needed for perfection. I went down to the beach and we're getting more super cucumbers today. Inside of a treasure chest, I picked up a diamond. I love getting diamonds so much. I can sell that, or I can keep it, trade it in for a triple shot espresso. I'm at 35,000 gold today, primarily from selling iridium bars. I made my first batch of kegs today, 10 in total. I decided to put these inside my house. Despite the fact that the Fennmont Farm is huge, I figured if they're inside my house, I'd see them every single day I woke up. It was time to fix up parts of the boat. I had the iridium bars and I had the battery packs thanks to the stormy weather. I did not have the 200 pieces of hardwood though, so I needed to put a lot more energy and effort into farming more hardwood. I purchased the big chest off Robin. The big chest is a game changer, and it was off down into the regular versions of the mines to wipe out some red slimes for more help wanted quests. The next day starts with a collection of more coffee beans. There was also a huge array of poppies, sunflowers and summer spangles that I get to collect here too, and I'm going to sell all those for perfection. We're then going to visit the desert. We're going to trade in our jades for some staircases, and then it's back to Clint to get our gold axe. We're then going to talk to Clint, and it's time to upgrade our steel pickaxe, and that will be upgraded all the way to a gold. Eventually we will have iridium tools. The sooner we get iridium tools, the faster progress we're going to make. A couple of mahogany trees had fully grown here in the quarry. We're going to cut those down, get all of the hardwood. We're then going to run around the Fennmont Farm, and we're going to cut down tons more trees today, and that was a skill up in farming. Help wanted quest from Marty. She was looking for a ruby. We will oblige, of course. The next day we're doing lots of fishing. We managed to finally pull up our first octopus. I was so happy with that. I'm then going to get Robin to make a fish pond. The reason why we're making the fish pond now is so that when we get the mutant carp, we can put that straight into the fish pond. We're then going to get the lava eel that's needed for the fishing collection, and we purchased another star drop off Krobus. We're then going to fish up the mutant carp, and it just means that we get mutant carp roe now every couple of days once the second fish pond has been fully created by Robin. It was then back to the help wanted quests. Marnie still wanted that ruby. We obliged, of course. One more quest in the bag. We then paid Clint a visit and we picked up our gold pickaxe. We're now going to go to the quarry, cut down a couple of more mahogany trees and spend the rest of the day putting down tiles to ensure that any sort of trees you want to plant in the future can be done so very quickly and efficiently. Also, if you want to tap these trees, it'll be super simple to collect all the resins. We're now going to put the mutant carp into the fishing pond. That's 2 legendary fish ponds set up at this moment in time, so we're doing pretty well with that. We then went back to the quarry and I decided to cut down every single tree here because I needed wood very badly. I also needed foraging XP. We then went back to Clint. It was time to upgrade tools yet again. We're going to go with the iridium pickaxe, and this is going to be a great upgrade for us because if we go back into the Skull Cavern, we can one-shot all of the regular nodes with the iridium pickaxe. For the rest of the day, we're just cutting down more trees, trying really hard to max out our foraging skill. We have level 8 foraging at the moment. I'm hoping in the next few days we can get that up to 10. The next day we pick up some battery packs, followed by some crimson fish roe and maple syrups. It's straight back into the secret woods. We're farming these stumps now on a daily basis. We're getting good hardwood, we're getting good XP. It's back to cutting down trees, and that is a level up in foraging, level 9. So we're now at level 9 foraging and level 9 combat. Once those skills are maxed out, we can then start going for mastery levels. So for the rest of the day, it's going to be cutting down trees yet again. We are going to pay Robin a visit, however, and we are going to get Robin to build us another fish pond because we're almost in fall. That means we can get access to the angler, and that will be the 3rd legendary fish we can set up on our farm. I also got some starfruit wine today. That is going to be sold for a huge profit. First, we need to go back to the Statue of Uncertainty and respec our farming profession. At the moment, we have our farming profession set to crops grow 10% faster. We need to change that up now to artisan so we get 40% more for selling artisan goods. We also went in to the mutated buglier today, picked up the dark talisman, and it was back to the secret woods yet again to farm these lovely tree stumps. We're getting more battery packs, which is great. We do sell some of the battery packs for extra money, but we're also keeping a lot of battery packs as well, so we can make iridium quality sprinklers and crystallariums, things like that down the road. We picked up our first red cabbage. We shall sell that, of course, for perfection, and we also get an iridium pickaxe off Clint. So we're actually doing very well now with the tool upgrades. We now have enough hardwood assembled to repair the hull. We can now take the boat to Ginger Island. That's not going to stop us from cutting down tons of trees though. We still need that last level in foraging, and the only way to get it is by foraging and cutting down trees, so here we are. We are going to spend a good portion of today just mercilessly cutting down trees. I also needed 100 pieces of hardwood to fix up this stump here so the raccoon would move in and we can start doing the raccoon quests. You can get some very good items from completing a lot of the raccoon quests. We're now back in the regular mines. We're farming up iron ores as per usual. We want coal as well to make bombs, but we're also focusing on monster eradication goals. So slimes, dust sprites, bats, they are all up for monster eradication. And this is just a nice cutscene here of Robin and Willie fixing up the boat. For 1000 gold we can now get a ticket and go over to Ginger Island. We're now going to talk to the dwarf today, pick up the dwarvish safety manual for 4,000 gold. This is a very handy book of power. It gives us a 25% damage deduction from bombs. We're also going to pick up the rare crow and a couple of recipes as well that's exclusive to the dwarf. It's back into the regular mines to do more Skull Cavern preparation, so we're just getting coal and we're getting iron ores yet again. We're now gearing up for a serious Skull Cavern run. So we've now made it to the end of summer. We're halfway through the challenge. We get to enjoy the moonlight jellies. And if you've made it this far in the video, maybe subscribe to the channel, especially if you like cozy game content and Stardew Valley content. Subscription is absolutely free and you do get notified when I release new content. We are now in fall. We're going to start by picking up a help wanted quest. Robin is looking for a bream, so we'll try to get that done as quickly as we can. We also hoard up a lot of ground in the farm to make way for pumpkin seeds. Now we're going to get a lot of pumpkins today because pumpkins are quite profitable. We're also going to get at least one of every single crop Pierre has to offer as well, just to get those perfection bonuses. We're now going to plant all of the pumpkins, and it took us the majority of the day because we had to manage the farm again. And we're also going to water up the pumpkins as well. Now this is the only time you're going to see watering because we have sprinklers set up. I just fished up a bream there and my character passed out because it was 2 o'clock. It was now time for day number 2 of fall, and we start by making a big chest. We're going to use the big chest now and swap out our green chest, which stores all of our green related items such as seeds, tools and things like that. We're then going to go to the desert and we're going to start getting some sandfish. It's time to put some work in with Penny to get her relationship up because we do want to marry Penny on this challenge. So we just completed the help wanted quest there for Robin, and we're going to use our prize tickets. We can now get a star drop tea. Now we are going to use this to maximum effect because today happens to be Penny's birthday. We're going to take Robin's project, collect 80 pieces of hardwood, and then we're going to talk to Penny. We're going to give her the sandfish that we pulled up in the desert. That brings her straight up to 3 hearts out of 8. We are now going to give Penny the star drop tea, and that's going to bring her up straight to 7 or 8 hearts. We're then going to fish up the angler, and that is another legendary fish in the bag for us. And we're going to put that angler into a fishing pond. That's 3 legendary fishing ponds we have now set up on the farm. Just 2 legendary fish to go. It's back into the secret woods and we're collecting more hardwood. We're now almost halfway there to foraging level 10. And we're going to spend a good portion of today pulling up fish because we are in fall. So there's lots of new fish we can get our hands on. And as you can see, we end up getting a ton of fish collected today, including the tilapia and the cucumber. We then speak to Willie and we just completed another quest there for him. We also fished up the walleye, which is also needed for the fishing collection. We go to Clint to get the steel watering can, and it is off to Ginger Island. Now, when we get to Ginger Island, the only task we want to complete today is just unlocking the farm. To do that, we're going to have to get into the west side of the island and get the parrots to fix up the house. Now, I've done this so many times, I know where all of the golden walnuts are, just like the back of my own hand, so it doesn't take me too long to run around the map with my hoe and my watering can and everything else that I have at my disposal, and quickly collect up all of the golden walnuts needed to get that house done and dusted. Before I know it, the house is complete and we can now start up a new farm here on Ginger Island. We're going to spend the rest of the day fishing over on Ginger Island. We picked up the lionfish there, which is needed. And the next day we're going to fly into the volcano dungeon. Now there's a lot of goodies we can get in here. I picked up a new shirt called the Yoba shirt. It was time for the change of clothes. So we're now walking around with the cool Yoba shirt. On floor number 3, I got a chest here with a golden walnut inside. It was very nice. Now, there's a total of 17 golden walnuts we can get inside of this volcano. 5 from combat, 5 from mining. You can also get 5 from the dwarvish caches as well. And just 2 more that pop open out of chests. Inside the elite chest today, we managed to get a hot Java ring. This ring is absolutely amazing. Once equipped, enemies that we slay will drop coffees or triple shot espressos. Now the triple shots are much more rare, but when you're wiping out tons of enemies, especially using monster musks, you'll be amazed how many you get in a day. On floor 10 in the volcano we get a prismatic shard. We're going to combine one lucky ring with the hot Java ring, and we're also going to free Professor Snail to start his archaeology side quests. There's a ton of golden walnuts we can get from doing Professor Snail's archaeology quest lines. There was one golden walnut which I missed, which was hidden behind a tree there, so we picked that up. Then we went north of the cave Professor Snail was trapped in, just the dig site area here, and we get more golden walnuts to add to our collection. We also managed to fish up a fossilized spine today, and that's one of the many fossilized items we will need to complete the archaeology collection. Today is going to be a good day. We just picked up a lot of starfruit wine. We're going to sell that for lots of money. We're then going to go to Robin's because there's so many mahogany trees over on Ginger Island. That quest, Robin's project, was simple to complete. We picked up 2 ancient fruit inside our greenhouse. All of these ancient fruits for the foreseeable future will go into seed makers to make more ancient seeds. Rinse and repeat until we have a greenhouse filled up to the top with ancient fruit. That means every 6 or 7 days we are going to make huge amounts of money. Because I had lots of money right now, I purchased Way of the Wind Part 2 for 35,000 gold. That will further increase the movement speed of my character. We're then going to pick up the prize ticket from completing Robin's project, and we're going to spend the rest of the day inside the secret woods cutting down trees. 62,000 gold made today, primarily from selling starfruit wine. Before I knew it, a new week fell upon us and it was time for another special orders quest. We had Pierre's prime produce and Gus's famous omelets. We had no chickens, so it was the Pierre's prime produce that we were going to pick up. Now we had lots of pumpkins grown on the farm, so it was going to be very simple to complete that quest when the time came. I picked up mermaid boots today. They're one of the best boots you can get in the game. They give +5 defense, +8 immunity. The only boots I prefer to the mermaid boots would be the dragon scale boots because of the sheer amount of defense that they give. I always prefer defense over immunity because there isn't a whole lot of enemies in the game that can give you particularly nasty debuffs. We also fished up our blue discus today, and we're just running around Ginger Island now collecting more golden walnuts and trying to get as many of the fossilized artifacts as we can. We also fix up the beach area here. This unlocks a new zone for us to go and plunder. We just got another golden walnut there, and we also took the time to fish up another fishy here, exclusive Ginger Island, the stingray. We enchanted our galaxy sword and we got haymaker, probably one of the worst enchants you can get, especially if you don't have animals. I then spent the rest of the day doing some fishing down in Ginger Island, just getting some more lionfish there and other bits and bobs. What I was really going for here were the golden walnuts, because you can fish up a total of 5 golden walnuts on Ginger Island, and I get the majority of them tonight, which is pretty nice. I also get a lot of lionfish and super cucumbers, and they're going to sell for lots of money. We finally did it. We got level 10 in foraging. It took so long. We're going to go with botanist. Forageable items are always of the highest quality, and then it is straight down into Skull Caverns to try and get our combat skill up to 10. And on floor 34 is where the magic happens, and it couldn't have happened at a better time because once combat goes to 10, the mastery gauge will kick in straight away because the rest of our skills are also 10. So all of the experience we now get going forward will go towards mastery. And what better place to ascend up mastery levels than the Skull Cavern? We also picked up an autopetter. Between the autopetter now and the haymaker enchant, the game was basically telling me, begging me, to invest in animals. So if you're a GamerGar channel member, prepare yourself because we are going to get lots of animals very soon and your names are going to be all shouted out. I also got an auto grabber today as well inside the Skull Cavern, so that more or less sums up what's going to happen in the next week or two. We are going to go straight down Marnie's Road and get tons of animals. Lots of prismatic shards today, lots of iridium ores today. It was just a real good day all round. And having the 2 luck rings does make a huge difference. Having the hot Java ring is also really nice as well, because if you take a look there at my bar, you'll notice that I have some coffee. That's going to grow dramatically over the next couple of weeks. We're always going to take Brute for more damage when we get level 10 combat. We're not going to go into any sort of specialized builds just yet. We're now going to go to Robin and we're going to build a coop, and that's going to be chain upgraded now to a deluxe coop. We're going to get barns as well. We're going to go to Willy. I finally have all of the jellies, so we're going to go make a fish smoker, and anytime now we start to do some fishing, we try to smoke up as much fish as possible, especially the really good ones like the super cucumbers and things like that, and we can make pretty good profits. Today starts with some fishing, followed by a good decent run through the regular mines. What we're focusing down today are monster eradication goals, and void spirits are top on our list. So shadow brutes, shadow shamans, we want to wipe them out and get those goals complete. If we come across slimes and crabs, that's a bonus as well because we also need those. You can get those enemies on different floors, but it's just a bonus if we come across them on this floor. Now floor 106 was an infested floor, so we could actually spam this floor for the whole day, and you'd be very surprised just how many of these crabs you could kill by spamming this floor over and over along with all of the void spirits. We're now going to upgrade our axe to its final form, the iridium axe, and that axe literally just takes 3 swings to fully wipe out a tree, including the stump. We're then going back into the volcano cave where we get our first level of mastery, which is very nice indeed. We're going to enchant our pickaxe. We get a nice good enchant there, which is swift. That's very nice. Swift and powerful are really good enchants for the pickaxe. With the watering can, we hit gold and we got bottomless. We'll never have to fill up the watering can again. Unlimited water. We're then going to go back into our cozy house here, and we're going to get lots of starfruit wine. And the first batch of pumpkins are also ready to be collected, so we're going to pick all these up. This is a lot more XP towards mastery as well, so it's really nice. Now, I was thinking about doing some fairy rose honey, but I decided, because I had so many goals to get done for this year, I just left it alone. Pierre's prime produce has been complete, 2500 gold in the bag, and I believe Pierre would just give us a mini shipping bin for the completion of that quest. For mastery, we're going with combat, because if we can get the level 3 or level 4 parrot, money just doesn't become an issue anymore. We made 154,000 gold today, primarily from selling starfruit wine. As you can see, the money is going up and up all the time because we're making more kegs. We can process more starfruit wine more frequently. And all this money now is going to be saved, and eventually you're going to start seeing us getting the big stuff later on, like the obelisks and the gold clock and things like that. It all starts with the starfruits. So we made lots of money today as well from fairy roses and other bits and bobs on the farm. We're now going to get the big coop from Robin, and eventually we'll get the Didos coop, and then we'll probably get a ton of animals. For the special orders quest today, we're going to go with community cleanup. This will give us access to fiber seeds, and they're just so handy. We get the iridium axe off Clint. We're now going to start upgrading the watering can. Because it has bottomless, it just makes sense to try to get that up to an iridium level. It didn't take us too long to complete the community cleanup quest. For Linus, once we had all of the trash acquired, we just dropped it up into the bin here, and that is the quest done and dusted. You only get 500 gold for completing the quest, but the fiber seed you get the next day in the mail is the real prize. We're back down in the regular mines, wiping out void spirits. I picked up the first trinket there, which was the ice rod. This is an absolutely amazing trinket. It will immobilize any enemy, regardless of what they are. We also get the fiber seeds off Linus as well, and we can actually make a few of those now. And the great thing about fiber seeds is that you don't have to water them. They only take 7 days to grow, and you can grow these in any season. It's an absolutely amazing crop, I have to say. So we're more than halfway through fall. It is time for the Stardew Valley Fair. Now, I put a Joja Cola into the box here, just for the giggles, you know, because we're going the Joja route. But there was also a lot of other potent items as well, such as the prismatic shard. We've got a diamond and an iridium quality magma cap. So we get first place with a rating of 99. We gamble our star tokens as per usual, and we grab the star drop, the rare crow, and the other bits and bobs. Then it's off to Clint for the gold watering can. Now we have a lot of money and we have a lot of resources, so it just makes sense to upgrade that to the iridium watering can and just get those tools upgraded now while we have the opportunity. We just completed the monster eradication goal for destroying void spirits. On floor 103 it was a mushroom floor, so we're going to pick up all these mushrooms. Because we have botanist, we're not going to get different quality mushrooms. It's going to basically take up all of our inventory slots. All of these red mushrooms will be iridium quality. They're going to sell for nice money. I also picked up the albacore as well. I needed that for the fishing collection. You can pickaxe up these jack-o'-lanterns. If I had a deconstructor, I could have deconstructed these into pumpkins. Now there's a tip for you. We get the Friendship 101 Book of Power. And this is going to make our lives a lot easier when it comes to building up relationships with all of the Stardew Valley NPCs. We're now going to visit Robin, and it is time to get the deluxe coop. And you can probably guess what we're going to fill our first one up with. That's right. It's going to be rabbits. We're now going to go back into the mutant bug lair, and we're going to fish up the slime jack, and then we are going to talk to Marcelo. Yet again, it's time to purchase more books. I'm going to purchase all of the skill books Marcelo has, just so we can get mastery up that little bit faster. We're also going to get all of the other books of power, even if we don't really need them, like the horse book of power for example. It's still nice to have it for the collection, and if we do decide to get a horse later on, at least it will go a little bit faster for us. Now because we had the UI info suite, the other book of power there, the catalog, doesn't come in super handy, but I still like to pick it up because of how good the wallet looks when it's fully complete. We went to the dig site today and we got very lucky. We picked up the palm fossil, and that is another artifact you cannot get from artifact troves, so it's always nice to get those kind of artifacts sooner rather than later. And I know I said the exact same thing when I picked up the other one in the beach there 1 or 2 seasons ago. I believe it was the trilobite. So the frog is going to give us a total of 10 golden walnuts here. We don't have the garlic, unfortunately, but we got 5 from the melon, and we also got 5 from the wheat. I decided to do this horrendous puzzle. After a good few attempts, I managed to complete it, and I got 3 more golden walnuts from doing that. Hopefully, I'll never have to do that puzzle again until the next challenge. I got Clint to break open some golden coconuts. I got the fossilized skull. That was needed for Professor Snail's archaeology side quest. So we're actually doing quite well with the museum collection. So much so, we actually got a crystallarium as one of the rewards. That's going to do very well in our farm, and we'll put jades into that for staircases. It's now time to get a barn, and eventually that'll be upgraded all the way to a deluxe barn, and we're probably going to fill it up with pigs. We're now going to go to Marnie, and we are going to purchase 2 heaters because we're heading into winter now and we want our animals to be super comfortable. I'm also going to purchase an auto grabber, so we have one for the coop and one for the barn. And now it's time for the member shout out. Pantox, Natasha, Bonkers Busy, Vice City, Taylor H, Valiant Chicken, Mania Ilyana, Sabrina Doohy, Awkward Burb. We have Ty as well, Sarah Carl, and Glitter Sparks. You are all now rabbits, so please revere me and sacrifice your feet to the greater good. It's now time to go back to Professor Snail, and we have all of the artifacts acquired to fully complete his side quest. As a reward, we are going to get tons of golden walnuts, a banana and a mango sapling, and the recipe to make an ostrich incubator. And ostriches are something that I don't use a whole lot of, but before we get to 100%, I can guarantee you this, you are going to see an ostrich army. We're now doing more monster eradication goals. We just got the monster slayer goal there for destroying crabs, which was very nice. That rewards them with the crab shell ring. For the rest of the day, we are going to farm up duggies just to get that goal completed as well. We're getting more starfruit wine today, which is great. This is the end of the 3rd week in fall. It was Robin's birthday, but we couldn't give her a gift because she was building our lovely barn. And that was quite unfortunate for us because we just missed out on a lot of friendship points there. We just completed another monster eradication goal there for duggies, which is really nice. And we are now making full use of the power that this iridium axe has, and we are wiping out tons of trees on our farm. We're now going to pet all of our rabbits. Now we have an auto petter and an auto grabber, so we don't have to give these rabbits too much of our time. It is still worth going in and giving them a pet though. For the next special orders quest, we're going to take fragments of the past. Because we have Ginger Island unlocked, it's going to be super simple to get all of the bone fragments to get that quest sorted. We also get our copper hoe back off Clint, and just like all of the previous tools, that will be chain upgraded all the way to an iridium hoe. We also completed the gem bird puzzle and we got some golden walnuts from that. We now have enough to enter Key's secret walnut room where we can take on the key quests. For the first quest, we're going to go with Key's prismatic grange. The reward, 35 extremely valuable key gems. But first, let's focus down our special orders quest. We just detonated all of the bone nodes over here at the dig site, and we got some real nice stuff, including a prehistoric skull and a skeletal hand, as well as a skeletal tail, all items needed for the museum. It was very lucky indeed to get all those. Because we had all of the bone fragments the dig site had to offer, I decided to wipe out some skeletons to get the rest. But we also needed to kill the skeletons as part of a monster eradication goal, so again, we were hitting multiple birds with the one stone, which was nice. Picked up a combat quarterly there. It's always nice to get skill books like that on the fly. 250 XP here and there, it does make the difference. With the skeleton monster eradication goal done, we now get to move on and harvest all of our lovely fibre, and we ended up getting about 1,000 or more fibre there from that. It's now time to upgrade our barn to the big barn, and then we go into the museum and we donate all of our bone fragments into Gunther. The reward was 3,500 gold, and Gunther will give us the bone mill the next day in the mail. We get our steel hoe back off Clint. We're going to hand that straight back in because we had the money and the resources, and upgrade that to a gold hoe. We then get Clint to break open tons of mystery boxes, and we get incredibly lucky here, and we get a new book of power called the Book of Mysteries. The Book of Mysteries increases the odds in which you may get lots of mystery boxes when you're doing the various activities around Stardew Valley. So for the prismatic range, as you can see, we got George colours for blue, we got cherry bomb, sap, fibre, and we have bug meat, all very easy items to get. With 35 key gems in a bag, the first thing we're going to get is Key to the Town. This makes communicating with all of the NPCs oh so easy. It also makes a lot of the Stardew Valley NPCs open up their shops a little bit earlier. It's a really good item to get. Normally when I do get key gems, it's one of the first items I always go for. So we're back into the Skull Caverns because we need to think about more of the monster eradication goals. If we want to get Monster Slayer Hero in year 1, we need to do this. We need to hit the Skull Caverns as much as we can, the regular mines as much as we can, and just wipe out all these monsters. Now we just got a room here filled up the top with mummies. Normally I would round up all these mummies in one fell swoop, try to get them all into unconscious mode with 1 or 2 swings and then detonate them all together, but I was pushed for time so I didn't have that luxury. I do get my gold hoe back off Clint today, and we'll send that straight back into Clint for an iridium hoe upgrade. We're then going to give the henchman some void mayonnaise. Now I didn't fish that up, I actually just purchased some void eggs off Krobus, and I turned one into a void mayonnaise. I picked up the ink here as well inside the witch's hut, and we're going to teleport off to the wizard now to get access to his magical terminal. The ice rod is absolutely amazing for immobilizing those sprite enemies. They're super simple to kill. We're then going to pick up the Diamond Hunter from the dwarf here in the volcano dungeon on floor 5. And the Diamond Hunter will give us a chance to get a diamond every time we pickaxe open any sort of a node. It doesn't have to be a regular node, it could be a gold node, an iridium node. Diamonds can pop out. We managed to get the Dragon Scale boots today. They give a whopping +7 defense, totally unmatched. We're going to put those on straight away. For the next mastery level, we're going to take mining. Because we're going to the mines and Skull Caverns so much, it only makes sense to get masteries based on what we're currently doing. And right now, we're doing some serious dungeon crawls. We finally got the monster eradication goal for dust sprites, which was great. We now have a ton of things to sell to Marlin. All of these trinkets sell for 1,000 gold each. It's actually not a bad way to make money. Now, they were all low-level parrots, and I didn't want to make an anvil and waste valuable, precious iridium bars and try to reforge that into something better. Eventually, we'll get her a high-level parrot egg. For the Halloween event, we're going to get the jack-o'-lantern recipe, as well as the rare crow. We're then going to transverse the maze, and we're going to pick up the golden pumpkin, which is a universal loved gift. We now go back to our house, and we get to collect all of our lovely starfruit wine. Today, we made a total of 103,410 gold, primarily again from starfruit wine. The next day we get our iridium hoe back off Clint. Thank you very much, Clint. It's now time to upgrade the pan. We'll upgrade that all the way to an iridium pan as well. Back to the Statue of Uncertainty. We're now going to reforge fishing. It's time to specialise into the crab pots to get the rest of the fish that we need for the fishing collection. I purchased 11 combat qualities today in the hopes to get my mastery skill up even further. It made a good dent. Now I had 132,000 gold left, and the travelling cart had an unlimited amount of combat qualities, so I purchased as many as I could, which was a total of 22, and this would be enough to get me into the next mastery level. As you can see, I'm spamming these books like there's no tomorrow. It's actually very satisfying to spam the books one after the next. With level 3 mastery, we're now going to pick up the foraging mastery. This will give us a chance to find golden mystery boxes. The treasure totems are a failsafe in case we don't end up completing the museum. We can try to make some treasure totems and get the artifacts we need that way. We're now going to get rid of all these regular furnaces, and we're going to turn them into heavy furnaces. We're also going to make a statue of the Dwarf King. This will give us access to very potent mining perks that we can get on a daily basis. We picked up the Midnight Carp tonight. That was needed for the fishing collection. And there we go. Level 5 fishing all over again. This time we're going to go with Tapper. And for level 10 we're going to take Lore Master. Crab pots no longer require bait. We're then going back into the greenhouse. As we can see, it's now getting there with the ancient fruit. One of the oranges fell out of the screen. I couldn't get it. It was a very sad day in Stardew Valley. But not to worry. We're going to go to Pierre. We're going to pick up a dehydrator for 10,000 gold. We can now make as many dehydrators as we want. And we're going to purchase one of every single sapling. Put that into the greenhouse. Because we're in winter, we're going to click on the bush here. Krobus pops out. As a result, we get the magnifying glass. Today is also Krobus's birthday. So we're just going to give Krobus a rabbit's foot. One of our channel members are already donating feet to us, which is absolutely amazing. We're now going to get Robin to make another fish pond, and this one is going to be home for the lethal and very hard to catch glacier fish. And what a battle it was to actually get this thing in the bag. It put up such a fight, and the fishing battle went on for so long. But eventually we did get there, and that was one more legendary fish in the bag for us. All that was left was the legend. Can we get it in year 1? Of course we can. We can just get some magic bait. For the next quest, we're going to take rock rejuvenation here, because it's an easy quest to do. And for the rest of the night, we're just doing more fishing. Today, we managed to get this squid. That's also needed for the fishing collection, like every other fish in the game. We also pick up the very difficult, sometimes it could be very difficult, lingcod, followed by the perch. We're then going to go to the waterfall, and I thought I got the goby in spring, but I didn't. I was just getting sunfish, so I just claimed the goby right there, which is one more fish down. A few fish left to go. We get our steel pan off Clint today, and you know what's going to happen? We're going to hand it right back in for the gold pan upgrade. We're then going to go and give Emily all of these minerals that she requested for her special orders quest. Once the quest was done, we get 1,000 gold, but we do get a pretty cool item the next day. So our relationship with Penny is going very well. We got her up to 8 out of 10 hearts. We discovered a bouquet there, which was nice. All of these fish-related items we're getting out from the crab pots will count towards the fishing collection. And that night we went up to the Witch's Swamp and we pulled up the Void Salmon. We're then going to talk to Linus here. It's his birthday. He got an Iridium Star cactus fruit. It pushed him right up to 6 out of 10 hearts. Then it was back to Robin, and it was time to get a shed because we needed somewhere to put our glowing keg collection. The fish pond was fully done, so we put the glacier fish inside there. That's 4 legendary fish ponds we now have on the farm. I decided to take Let's Play a game this time and play some Junimo Kart to win some key gems. Lewis has the top score of 50,000, followed by Shane. Lewis is just an animal, to be honest, at this game. I died so many times on the 3rd level because I kept getting hit by these horrible whale bubbles. Eventually I got past it. I made my way to the 4th level, and I was just so close now to getting the 50,000 score. This jump almost killed me, but I just got there. 50,000 first place, thank you so much. Junimo Kart is just not my strong suit when it comes to Stardew Valley, and it's because I don't put a whole lot of time into the game. Thankfully, I don't think there is any sort of Steam achievement for Junimo Kart, but there is one for the other minigame, so, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So I just made some bone mills today, lots of bone fragments to put into those. I got lots of diamonds today from breaking open regular nodes, which was nice. So we're doing regular mines today primarily for copper ore because we need copper to make eggs. We also need copper to make tappers. We get our gold pan back off Clint. Now we only had 5,000 gold. We couldn't upgrade that to the iridium pan. It will have to wait. I did go to Key's secret walnut room though, and I purchased some magic bait as well as the deconstructor. So we could now go ahead and take on the legend. And this will be the final legendary fish that we need to complete our legendary fish pond collection. So you can probably guess now the next structure Robin's going to make. Now the regular angler doesn't make a whole lot of money, so I got rid of that and I replaced it with the legend. The next fish pond that is made, we'll then put the angler inside there. I'm now going to make some crystallariums. I had the battery packs, the iridium bars, the gold bars and the stone. So I said why not? The more jades, the more staircases, the more faster progress we can make through the Skull Caverns. We're back in the regular mines today trying to get more copper ore. Copper is something that always bottlenecks me when I'm doing these yearly challenges or specific challenges because it's needed in so many different things. I decided to mix things up a bit today and go back into the Skull Cavern to get more monster eradication goals done. So we're trying to fight serpents today. If we come across slimes, we'll take them because we also need slimes as well. I got another auto grabber today. That was very nice, and we made it down to 4100 because we had the secret letter to say get down to 4100. We picked up the iridium snake milk there, which permanently increases our health by 25. It's time to use the deconstructor. By putting in a warp totem to the farm, it will give us back a honey. We actually haven't made any honey related items yet, so that will come in fierce handy for perfection. We had the resources, we had the money, it was time for an iridium pan upgrade. We were then getting Clint to break open even more geodes here. We just needed a few more bits of minerals to complete all of the mineral side of the museum. As we can see, we were just missing the fire opal. We had everything else, so hopefully, sooner rather than later, that will pop out of one of the many different types of geodes you can get in this game. Now, I decided to sell some triple shot expressos here because I had so many just to get my gold up a little bit. That's why the hot javelin is so overpowered. Just look at all the money I got there from selling triple shot expressos. With that hard-earned money, we're going to go with a house upgrade. See, if we want to get married, we need to have at least one house upgrade done, so there's enough room for Penny to move in. We just got an auto petter there from a golden mystery box. Absolutely amazing. We're going to keep all these auto petters and auto grabbers because if we decide to make more coops and barns down the road, they're going to come in very handy. And that, everybody, is the monster eradication goal done and dusted for slimes. As a reward, we will get the super overpowered slime charmer ring. Let's talk to Skell and grab it right now. This ring is so handy. I don't use it that much, but if we want to go the slime hutch route, it will be very handy for that. All we need now are some mummies, some pepper rexes, serpents, and magma sprites. That means a lot of Skull Cavern runs between now and the end of the year, and a couple more runs into the volcano to claim those magma sprites and magma sparkers. It's now time to get some pigs. We're going to get as many pigs as we can. In terms of the channel members, we have Fluffy Fish, Sleepy Brit, Sarcasm, Valen, Kimmy, and Yanya, Dara, Caroline, Mars Mateus, Natasha B. I just wanted to show off a very rare floor here that you can get in the volcano. This is a mushroom floor. Now some of these mushrooms are enemies that will try to kill you, similar to the crabs. Some of these mushrooms, however, are lovely original magma caps that we get to pull up. And of course, when we do pull these lovely things up out of the ground, they are iridium quality magma caps. They're one, if not the best forageable in the game when it comes to giving back health and energy. We're just putting rubies into our Galaxy Sword now just to increase its base attack power. And this is our deluxe barn filled up to the top with pigs. Now it's always a good time to get pigs in winter because it takes a while for baby pigs to mature. So winter is a good time to get it done. It is time for another Stardew Valley event. We're going to pick up the rare crow here, and we also did the fishing contest as well, which victory was easily assured. Normally I kind of get about 6 big slimy fish, and that's enough to win the competition. The prizes aren't great. I do end up selling most of the things. The sailor's cap is quite cool, but I prefer the leprechaun hat that I'm wearing at the moment. I think it's one of the coolest hats in the game. When that event was over, we ran into town and we're going to pick up the biome balance. And it's a quite simple quest. We just have to put up 10 or 20 lakefish and the quest is done and dusted. And that's what we're going to do the next day. But first, let's take a look at the Mr. Key quests. We have the Hungry Challenge for 25 and the 4 Precious Stones for 40. Both quests require us going into Skull Cavern, so I said we might as well pick the one that rewards the most. So we're going to go for the 4 Precious Stones. But first, let's jump into the volcano and start getting the kill counts up on these magma sprites and magma sparkers. Time, at the moment, is our greatest enemy. There's only so many days left before we get into year 2. I really wanted to complete the museum and I really wanted to have all of the monster eradication goals done. Now, I ended up prioritizing Demetrius's quest today, so we went to town with the lake fish, and because we're using deluxe bait, the bite rate is really good. It didn't take long at all to get all of the fish needed to complete this quest. Even after we had the quest done, I just kept fishing and fishing because it was so much fun. 1500 gold only for the biome balance, but you get to keep the fish, which is nice, so we can smoke some of those up and sell the rest for some good money. We picked up some powder melons, and for the rest of the evening we're focusing on squids because I want to turn these into squid bait to basically tear through the squid fest and get the Book of Power. So we get the farm computer off Demetrius. We have to make that for perfection, so it was a necessary quest to do. We're then going back into Skull Cavern and we are primarily focusing on serpents. Now, if we got our hands on an early monster musk, all of these quests would be trivial. We just haven't come across the quest just yet. So at the end of the day, RNG is also a huge factor in terms of how much you're going to get done in year 1. There's only so much planning and skill can get you. Now, this Skull Cavern run ended up being a really good run despite the fact that I came down here primarily to wipe out serpents. We did get a new mastery level, which was nice, and we just got the monster eradication goal there for mummies. With the iridium pan in hand, it was time to go back to fishing here. It was the Squid Fest. All we had to do was put up a total of 8 squid, and that would allow us to claim the top prize, which is a very interesting Book of Power called the Art of Crabbing. And that Book of Power gives your crab pots, every single one of them, a 25% chance to yield double the loot. It really is a huge upgrade for the crab pots. And a crab pot farmer would be a very interesting challenge, but it would be, I think, a bit too boring. Because we had some more money, it was time to get a few more pigs. So One Slick is our newest pig, and we're also going to get Alarota as well. Big shout out there to more of the GamerGar channel members. We're now going to go to Robin's, and Robin is going to build another coop, and this is going to be more of a variety coop that would fill up with chickens and ducks and things like that, because we already had our rabbit coop. I was going to get farming mastery, but because we were in the middle of winter, I decided against it, and I figured fishing mastery would be more beneficial to have right now, rather than later. I also made some deluxe bait makers, and they're going to give me tons of deluxe bait every single day. It was then back down into Skull Caverns, and we were fighting pepper rexes. We just needed a few more of those pepper rexes to complete another monster eradication goal, so we're very close now to completing all of the goals, and we have 2 weeks left before the first year is finished. We got lots of iridium ores today as well. It was now time to take our rabbit's foot, bring it over to the truck driver, and we were rewarded with the special charm, and this is a permanent increase to our luck. This combined with our 2 luck rings is a pretty good recipe for success. Speaking of, we just got the fire opal there from breaking open a ton of Omni Geodes. That was the last mineral we needed to complete the mineral portion of the museum. We now had to double down and try to complete the artifact portion of the museum, and all those strange dolls will certainly help. It was also time to get into the casino as well, so we just started the Mr. Key quest here for the casino card, and we just got a rainbow shell there, and now we have to get 10 beets and put that into Mayor Lewis's fridge. Thankfully, I had beets grown over on Ginger Island. It was now time to respec more professions. We were now going to respec mining so that geodes become much more common. So we're going to get geologist this time, chance for gems to appear in pairs. But for the level 10 perk, we're going to get excavator, chance to find geodes doubled. And the reason for this is that we can trade in geodes for artifact troves, and we can break those open to get the artifacts we need to finish off the museum. So the fish pond was done. We now have all 5 legendary fish ponds active on the farm, a big coop from Robin, and we give Linus back his berry basket. Totally forgot about it in summer, I believe he lost it. But hey, better late than never, right? It's time for another help on the quest. Clint wants a quartz. It's such an easy quest, and a prize ticket up for grabs. We obliged straight away. The more prize tickets we can get now, the better. We're not finished with Clint yet though. Time to upgrade some tools. Yes, we're going to upgrade the trash can. It's something I always forget to upgrade, but it's actually very handy to have an iridium quality trash can, especially for Skull Caverns, and you need to get rid of stuff. So the Ginger Island now is shaking up to be a pineapple farm. Reason for this, I'm basically prepping myself for that quest that you get off Caroline for the solar panels. Normally, she asks for either taro tubers or pineapples. So I got the 4 prismatic shards, completed another quest. It was time to take the broken extended family. And I'm going to show you how broken this quest is. Because we have the fishing mastery, I can now absolutely abuse this quest. But first, let's visit Mayor Lewis's fridge, put in the beets, and we get a note from Mr. Key here to say that we have one final task to give the sand dragon his last meal. And that just means going to the desert and putting a solar essence into the dragon's mouth. Let's take a look at the special orders quests. We finally got the prismatic jelly there, and we have Robin's resource rush. We're going to go for the prismatic jelly, because the reward for that is the monster musk. I paid a visit to the night market, went down into the submarine, where we got the midnight squid, the spookfish, and we also pulled up the blobfish as well. And that was all of the fish done with. Master Angler complete. Now we get a star drop from Willie because he doesn't have any kids to pass it down to. I've always feel a bit sorry for Willie when he sends me this letter. It's a little bit depressing. I really hope Willie finds love. And I really hope Concerned Abe implements some sort of an update in the future so that all of the other Stardew Valley NPCs can find their own happiness, because Willie lives such a lonely life. It is now time to do the extended family quest, but we're not going to complete it today. We're going to spend the entirety of today and the good portion of tomorrow fishing up Legend 2s. We will smoke these up and we will sell them for extraordinary amounts of cash. Now, with the first Legend 2, I always put that into a bait maker to get back Legend 2 bait. This will increase the odds of more Legend 2s biting on our nice rod. I just got 8 Legend 2 baits back there. So for the rest of the day, it's just getting more Legend 2s. And the amount of money we're going to make from this is absolutely insane. Now, I could have gotten more money from this if I respect my tackles a bit, if I got the quality lore. Before I sell any of the Legend 2s, we're going to take Angler again, fish worth 50% more. I already have Artisan, so I already have the bonuses needed for the fish to sell at its maximum price. I got the Prismatic Jelly today, so we're going to hand that straight into the wizard now. It was also the wizard's birthday as well, so because we're down here, we're going to give the wizard some goodies on top of the quest. He gets a Ghost Star Rabbit's Foot. I also put up the Glacierfish Jr. today as well to finish out the quest, followed by the son of the crimson fish. Then we went down into the sewers and we picked up the radioactive carp. And the last fish we needed was none other than Miss Angler herself. Now you can actually put those fish into legendary fish ponds as well, and they give you back the exact same row as their parents. Some of the legendary fish's kids even look a little bit different. But for now, we're just going to sell them all. I made 363,000 gold today, primarily from selling Legend 2s. Now I would have got a lot more money if they were Iridium Star Legend 2s, if I just used the quality lore instead of 2 trap bobbers. But if we do get the quest again, we can break it if we want, and we can make even more money. I got the flute block and drum block off Robin there because I got her over 6 hearts, which was nice. So if we get a rainy day over on Ginger Island, we can complete the mermaid puzzle. It's now time to get Robin to make more buildings for us, and it's time to upgrade the second coop now to a deluxe coop. That's 2 deluxe coops we have on the farm now. Back down into Skull Caverns, we picked up a crystallarium, which was very nice indeed. And we're trying to focus down more monster eradication goals. Just got 4 diamonds there because of the way we're spec'd, that there's a chance gems can pop out in pairs. This was going to be the room that we were finally going to get the Pepper Rex monster eradication goal done. So it's nice to get that one out of the way. All of those dinosaur eggs will be put to good use, so I do pick up all those eggs eventually. We're now going to focus down serpents, but first we get the floor 100 and we pick up another crystallarium. 2 crystallariums in one day. It was going very well for us. It was getting late, but not to worry. A few more swings and we had the serpents more or less in the bag. We were very close now to getting 250 serpent kills, and today was the day where it all happened for us. All we needed now was just to get a few more magma sprites or magma sparkers, and we had the monster slayer hero. With all of the geodes I've been getting, I traded them all in for artifact troves. We're going to get Clint to break open all those in the hopes to get all of the artifacts that we need. Now, because we had a lot of animals on the farm, I was running out of hay, so I put the haymaker to good use, and I spent the whole day today spamming floor 81. I got lots of hay, filled up the silo, and if I saw gold nodes, I would occasionally pickaxe those up as well because it didn't take too long with the swift enchant. I was also getting diamonds from the gold nodes as well, which was an added bonus. Now, I'm not going to trade any diamonds in for triple shot expressos. I just sell the diamonds nowadays to get extra money. Got Clint to break open all these artifact troves. A lot of these artifacts I had already, but look what I got today. Another book of power known as the Treasure Appraisal Guide. It's a very rare book of power to come across, but it's absolutely amazing. It will triple the price of all artifacts. So this makes a lot of artifacts you can now get in the game quite lucrative, especially the dinosaur egg. It makes that very lucrative indeed. I also got a magic rock candy today, but believe it or not, the museum is not finished. There's still a handful of artifacts that we have to get. So it's back over to Ginger Island. Now, I got very lucky today and I pulled up an amphibian fossil. That was needed for the museum. There's literally 2 or 3 artifacts left to get, but those artifacts, they become very painful, and this is just the start of it. But first, let's sort out these monster eradication goals. So I'm on floor 2 here in the volcano, and I was blessed with a huge storm of magma sprites and magma sparkers. I also grabbed a banana from my freshly grown banana tree, gave it to the gorilla here for more golden walnuts. We're now very close to actually getting all of the golden walnuts the game has to offer. It was back into the volcano today, and because I had so many golden walnuts on me, I got the parrots to fix up the bridge there. Getting some golden mystery boxes too from killing these magma sprites is always a bonus. Once I wiped out the remaining of the magma sprites on this level, we finally had it done. The final monster eradication goal was complete. All that was left now that I wanted to get done this year was locate all of the artifacts. Picked up the golden relic there. That was extraordinarily lucky. There was no other word for it. I literally came along to the desert, the first hoeing spot, and it just pops up out of the ground. Amazing. And that's where our luck runs out, everybody. I'm now trading in jades for staircases. We're going to make full use of those when we're doing Skull Cavern runs. A 5-minute tour into Skull Caverns today just to pick up 1 solar essence. We're going to go straight back out, head over to the Sand Dragon, and we're going to give that a solar essence. Let's take a look at the monster eradication goals. Slimes, void spirits, bats, skeletons, cave insects, doggies, dust sprites, all complete. Rock crabs, mummies, pepper rexes, serpents, and magma sprites done and dusted. Let's talk to Gunther here It's time to donate more stuff. We have the amphibian fossil as well as the golden relic, but we're not finished just yet. There's a few more things that we need. We need the chewing stick. We also need the anchor as well as the scapula. Now, because I had a spare doll on me, I turned it into Thor 100 there just to get the faraway stone. We can use that to get the crossover item, the Meow Mare, later on from Terraria. Something I've never played. A lot of people have recommended it in the comments, but we'll see down the road. For now, let's try to get the chewing stick. So there is a chance the chewing stick can drop from duggies. So I'm basically spamming floor 15 and 16 in the hopes that a duggie will drop what I need. I also took a monster musk, so a lot more monsters would spawn. Now, the one good thing from this is the fact that I was getting an absolute ton of coffees and triple shot espressos from slaying on these monsters. After a couple of days of farming duggies, we finally got the chewing stick. We also picked up a prismatic shirt. Such a weird item to pick up from slaying enemies. We're now moving on to skeletons because these guys have a chance to drop prehistoric scapulas. Now, the chance is quite small, but we're almost finished the year and I didn't know what else to do. There was a chance you can get cinder sap, but I was checking cinder sap, it wasn't popping up. So for the rest of the day, I was coming in here, wiping out scores of skeletons. I mean, I must have wiped out at least 100 of these things before I almost give up. Now, I'm getting Clint to break open more artifact troves here, and we just got the anchor, which was one of the final items we needed to complete the museum. With the addition of the anchor, there was just one item left, and the museum was done and dusted. And that was this cursed scapula. I even got a prismatic shard for killing skeletons. I even get level up in mastery for wiping out tons of skeletons, but I still did not get that prehistoric scapula. Now, getting the level 5 mastery in the first year was very nice. You would not believe what happened today. I hold up the scapula. Guess what was beside it? Have a guess what was beside it. We're going to hold up right now. The chewing stick. All those days wasted wiping out enemies for both items to be held up right next to each other. I swear, sometimes this game just has it out for me. With the addition of the scapula, we had the complete collection achievement done, and the reward was a star drop. So we're doing really well with the star drops. There's a few we're missing. We actually never got the sweet gem berry star drop in this challenge. That's something I have to do very quickly. It was time to celebrate. We are going to give Morris 500,000 gold and put a theatre into Stardew Valley. The theatre will make our lives much easier when it comes to getting relationship points up with people. I also paid 50,000 gold for the Queen of Sauce cookbook. This unlocks every single Queen of Sauce recipe, and that's going to come in very handy. 15 recipes we learned from that. We're now going to take Farming Mastery, and that's all of the masteries done. Statue of Blessings, very nice indeed. Iridium Scythe, we can say goodbye to putting up crops, and we can now get golden animal crackers. So year 2 is going to be a very interesting year because we're going to be going into year 2 with Iridium tools, full mastery, crystallariums. We've got deluxe barns and coops filled up to the top with quality animals. We just got our casino card right there. It's time for another special orders quest. This time, we're going to take Robin's Resource Rush, and we're going to try to get 1,000 pieces of wood for her. The reward's going to be a stone chest for this one, so one step closer to perfection. It was time for the Feast of the Winter Star. We got Vincent, gave Vincent a snail. He was absolutely delighted. Told him not to tell his parents, of course. I got Shane. Now, Shane gave me a pumpkin pie, and I thought that was pretty nice of Shane. I've gotten much worse, much worse. And that pumpkin pie will be put to great use inside the shipping bin for Mayor Lewis to distribute. We're now getting back ancient seeds here by using our seed makers. Slowly but surely, we're filling up the greenhouse with ancient fruit. It's now time to rework the greenhouse, so I'm going to make some iridium sprinklers, and we're going to put these inside the greenhouse for maximum effect. What you see here now is me putting down deluxe speed grow, so all of these ancient fruits will grow a lot faster. It was Clint's birthday today. He gets a rabbit's foot, so we get some relationship points there with Clint. I enchanted the axe today as well. I got efficient. I really didn't want that. I really wanted swift or powerful, but I can always re-enchant down the road. So we had Skull Cavern Invasion, a chance at radioactive ores or Keys Cuisine. Now, at this moment in time, I was sick to death of doing Skull Cavern runs because of the monster eradication goals. I decided to give myself a bit of a break and take on Keys Cuisine instead because I had so many coffees from slaying so many monsters because of the effects of the hot javelin. I also had lots of coffee beans that I converted into regular coffee as well. Now, I made a lot of triple shot espressos. It wasn't enough to complete the quest. I was maybe 3,200 gold short. So it was time to go back down into the regular mines with the monster musk and wipe out some enemies down here to get even more coffees so I can then convert those into triple shot espressos. And that would be another key quest complete, more key gems added to the roster. For the rest of the night, it was just cutting down more trees to get wood. If I wanted Robin to keep making these lovely structures, we needed tons of wood. Also, Robin's resource rush was complete, and because I had sold so many coffees, I got the key gems, and I also picked up the stone chest there as well, which was nice. I had a lot of bone fragments from wiping out those skeletons. It was time to put them to good use. And for the final day, we're just going to get some nice collectibles here. I picked up the Junimo plush by clicking on that branch there at 12 o'clock, exactly on the last day of the season. We also got a star drop tea as well. I picked up the Ferragoon here for putting a strange bun into Vincent's tight chest. And we went to the secret woods with the maple syrup, and the bear here shared us his special knowledge. So now blackberries and salmon berries are worth 3x the gold, which is really nice. Went to Mayor Lewis's house, put a staircase down, and I took on the maze here to get a second pair of lucky purple shorts. The great thing to know about this ice rod is that it immobilizes the shorts. You can also parry the shorts as well, but you can't actually kill them. Just so you know, I did come down here with a frog to see if the frog would gobble up the shorts. The frog doesn't, unfortunately, but I thought it would be hilarious if the frog actually did. It is now into year number 2, and we are greeted by a new NPC by the name of Kent, and Kent is the husband of Jodie. We also have a barn filled up to the top with pigs, and these pigs are ready to explore the Fennmont Farm and find tons of trophies for us. We're going to pay Sandy a visit. We are back in spring. We are going to cover the farm in rhubarb seeds. We're also going to make lots of iridium quality sprinklers to maximize profits, because the more space we can get in our farm, the more crops we can plant, the more money we can get once these crops are put up out of the ground. We will try to convert a lot of these crops to wine as well. It's time to look at the special orders quest. We're going to take on tropical fish, and we're going to go to Pierre, and we're going to purchase at least 20 to 30 of every single crop that Pierre has, so we can knock off a bunch of achievements at once. We're going to head down to the stores here, and it's time to respec our skills. We have artisan at the moment. We're going to pay 10,000 gold and respec farming because we're not going to be selling huge amount of artisan goods anytime soon. So we're just going to change that to crops grow a little bit faster. So for level 5, we'll take tiller, crops grow 10% more, and for level 10, we're going to go with agriculturist again, crops grow 10% faster. We're now going to talk to Robin, and we are going to upgrade our house, because the more space we have in our house, the more machines we can put inside to make even more money. We're now going to talk to Marnie, and we are going to purchase the animal catalogue. This is an absolute game changer. This means we can purchase animals and access Marnie's wares any time of the day. We don't have to rely on Marnie's attendance. We're going to go to the Adventurers Guild, sell all of the weapons and trinkets that we don't need, and then we're going to go up to the quarry today, and we are going to plant tons of mahogany seeds to get lots more hardwood. It was Kent's birthday today. Now we want to get Kent maxed out as quickly as possible, along with the rest of the Stardew Valley villagers, so Star Drop Teas and Love Gifts are the way to go. We can also use the cinema once per week, so we'll use it on Kent this week, just to get some extra friendship points. We went and saw the natural wonders, and Kent said it reminds him of simpler times. Nice one, Kent. But more importantly, Kent loved the popcorn that we purchased him, a nice cheap gift, and we got lots of friendship points up with Kent. We're now going to reforge our fishing skill, and because it's raining, we're also going to talk to the old mariner as well to get a mermaid pendant. Our greenhouse is almost filled up to the top with ancient fruit, just a few more bits and bobs needed, and every single week we can get huge amounts of ancient fruit, and that's going to bring in huge money. It is now time to ask Penny to marry us, and she accepts, which is absolutely magnificent. The wedding will be in a couple of days. I went over to Ginger Island Farm. I saw Gus at the stall. I immediately opened up his inventory and purchased the tropical curry recipe straight away. Take my advice, folks, if you see this recipe, get it straight away, because you're not guaranteed Gus to be at the stall over any duration of time when you're doing your Stardew Valley playthroughs. For the shipping collection, I got a bear, pale ale and mead, and then it was time to talk to this strange NPC to start a chain quest, which is going to reward us with some fairy dust recipe and 5 golden walnuts. But first, let's take a look at the key quest for the week. We're going to take 4 precious stones, simply because it's worth a little bit more key gems, and we need tons of key gems to get all the recipes. For level 10 fishing, we're going to take pirate. Doubles our chances to find fishing treasure chests. Very handy if we want to farm some star drop teas. After getting some ancient fruit in our greenhouse, we picked up some jellies there from our preserve jars as well, because we have to think about the raccoon questline as well. There is a Steam achievement to fully grow the raccoon family, and in order for us to do that, we have to complete several of the item collection quests that the raccoon will give us. Now we just got a raccoon journal there from handing in a quest. That is one more book of power added to our lovely inventory, and that is all of the books of power now collected. The raccoon journal will give us a greater chance to get mixed seeds when we whack open those weeds. The seed makers are coming in super handy here. As we can see, we now have a greenhouse filled up to the top with ancient fruit. This is going to be an absolute game changer in the next couple of weeks when we get to harvest all of that lovely fruit. We're now going to give Kent the war memento that Birdie gave us from Ginger Island. Kent is going to give us a new item now that we can give to Gus, and this is the gourmet tomato salt. Now this is just a big chain quest of giving NPCs items to finally get back an item we can give back to Birdie to complete that quest line. We're going to get the Stardew Valley Rose now from Gus, and this is just our house after being upgraded yet again. All of these extra rooms now, we can fill these up with kegs and other bits and bobs just to increase profits. Back to the chain quest though, we're going to give Sandy the Rose. She's going to give us the advanced TV remote. We'll give that to George there, he's going to give us the Arctic Shard. Give that to the wizard, and the wizard will give us the wriggling worm. Once we give the worm to Willy here, he is going to give us the pirate's locket, and we can give that locket then back to Birdie for the fairy dust recipe and the 5 golden walnuts. Now, once we get those 5 golden walnuts, we still need to do some other bits and bobs around Ginger Island to get the 130 golden walnuts all together. Now, we could always use the Joja parrot to find the rest, but I didn't want to use it in this playthrough. I just wanted to find all of the golden walnuts the normal way. I had enough resources to make a statue of blessings. This statue will give us very powerful perks on a daily basis. Today, when we activated the statue, we got a buff to gaining friendship points with the Stardew Valley NPCs when we talk to them. Very powerful indeed, and especially needed for us since we need to max out all of the Stardew Valley NPCs to get all of their cooking recipes. So after the wedding, it was time to do a Skull Cavern dive. We just got the +1 per ore there from the statue of the Dwarf King and a +1 to luck from the statue of blessings. What a wicked combination to get before we jump into the Skull Cavern. You couldn't really ask for better. Purple slime egg, prismatic shards. We had lots of goodies today, including golden animal crackers from doing the Skull Cavern. Now the more golden animal crackers we get today, the better, because we can give those to our rabbits to increase the rabbit's feet yield. Now we came in here to get 4 prismatic shards. We got those easy enough because of the amount of luck buffs that we stacked. Look at the amount of resources we got from doing the Skull Cavern run. Over 500 iridium ores, 2 golden animal crackers, we got rain totems, diamonds, battery packs, we got a crystallarium there as well. We got a total of 12 prismatic shards. Not only can we hand 4 of those in for the key quest, we can gift the rest of them to get bonus friendship points, which is absolutely amazing. All of the golden animal crackers will be prioritized on the rabbits, of course, to make friendship deals much easier again. We now have 125 key gems. We could take on another key quest. We're going to go with Keys Hungry Challenge because it goes for more. We just have to get down to level 100 in Skull Cavern without taking any sort of food. That's easy to do. We just have to spam some staircases. The pigs are still one of the, if not the best moneymaker animal in the game. Sure, they're expensive, but once all those pigs are maxed out, they're going to find some serious truffles for us. We're going to spend 100,000 gold. We're going to upgrade the house yet again to get a cellar. That's a lot more space for us to make even more money. We're going to purchase some recipes here too over on Ginger Island. We're going to get the banana pudding for 30 bone fragments, and we're also going to pick up the deluxe retaining soil for 50 cinder shards. We need to make all these recipes in order to get perfection, and of course, one step closer to 100% in the game. Today was also spent trying to get some more golden walnuts. We also had a look at the travelling card. If you can believe it, I never got the Sweet Gem Berry star drop in year 1, so we have to get that this year. The greenhouse is coming along great. It's now filled up to the top with ancient fruit. Just have to wait for the rest of it to grow. We're picking up truffles now every single day. Each of these truffles is worth almost over 1,000 gold. It's just a crazy passive money maker. A lot of this ancient fruit now will be put into kegs because we need to start thinking about getting the warp obelisks. We have to start thinking about the golden clock. They all cost huge amounts of money. In our spare time, we will give as many gifts as possible to all of the Stardew Valley NPCs to get their friendship points up. The crystallariums that are generating jades are an absolute game changer for us. Every Sunday we can trade these in for staircases. I'm at 178,000 gold today, primarily from selling iridium bars, because we have blacksmith. They sell for 1500 gold a pop, which is really nice. We're going to enter the Easter festival today, and we're going to pick up lots of strawberry seeds. We didn't get these in year 1, so we need these now going forward to get perfection and 100%. We also won the Easter event as well, so we got a prize ticket. The reason why we get a prize ticket this time is because we got the straw hat the last time. We're giving Penny loved gifts now on a daily basis. Eventually, she will give us a star drop that we really need. We're now going to visit the Skull Caverns. We trade in some jades there for staircases, and we're literally going to plummet down to floor 100. We grab some chests along the way if they pop up. We just picked up some more key gems there now for completing Keys Hungry challenge. On floor 100 we picked up a trinket called the Magic Quiver. It's not a bad trinket. It was Haley's birthday today. We give her another rabbit's foot. The rabbits are really starting to pay off now because they're starting to get high quality feet. We also completed the mermaid puzzle. We got 5 more golden walnuts. With 150 key gems at our disposal, we are now going to purchase 3 galaxy souls. We need this in order to complete a Steam achievement. The Steam achievement states that we need to have an infinity weapon, so this is how we're going to do it. There is a chance you can get galaxy souls from killing enemies in the hardened versions of the mines and also the hardened versions of Skull Caverns, but we didn't get that lucky. We're also completing more of the raccoon quests as well, so we just popped in some dried mushrooms there and some white algae. We got the raccoon hat as a reward. We will need to do at least 5 or 6 more quests to make sure that the raccoons are fully thriving, and that will unlock another Steam achievement for us. We're just doing another special orders quest here for Gus. He wanted about a dozen eggs, and we had some chickens on the farm pumping out eggs every day, so I said why not? 3,000 gold in the bag. Every little bit of money helps. We're now going to go to the new desert festival here, and we're going to get the chef to make us the rumpled fruit skin. This will give us a luck and a speed buff. And what's great about this food is that it also stacks with your regular food and drink buffs as well, so you can come in here with an absolute mountain of luck and you can get a lot of treasure rooms. Speaking of which, we just picked up a golden animal cracker there along with an auto petter. We get very lucky today. We end up getting a few golden animal crackers, we get auto grabbers, auto petters. Now, we spoke to Marlon because we took a quest off him to make it down past 430. We got an egg rating of 51, that's the second best rating you can get. If we got a bit luckier, or if we stayed in there a little bit longer, we could have got an egg rating over 55, which was giving us a lot more calico eggs and the magic rock candy as the main prize. We finally got our wife Penny up to the desired amount of hearts to give us another star drop. There's just 1 star drop to go, and that is to bring a sweet gemberry into the secret woods and give it to the statue. We're now going to get our first batch of rhubarb here. Now all of these rhubarbs will be converted into rhubarb wine. We're going to go back to the desert as well. We're going to have a chat with the cactus merchant, and he is going to give us a really cool decoration here. And there's lots of cactus variants you can get from this merchant. Now we're still trying our best to reach maximum friendship with everyone as quickly as possible, so we're always taking help wanted quests as well, and most times they're just very simple quests, like give someone a leek or give someone a dandelion or something like that, you know? So even though I'm not showing all of that content, if I did, this video would end up being 12 or 13 hours long. We do take the help wanted quests every time they become available. So we're going with cauliflowers now because I want to get some mutations going on the farm. We're also made an absolute ton of tappers to get a lot more oak resins. It's time for another special orders quest. We finally got a curious substance here. We'll do that. That'll give us a new recipe we can make, which will be the mini obelisk. So we're going to spend the day in the mines today, wiping out ghosts to get that special item we need to complete the special orders quest. While we're farming up the ectoplasm, we're also getting lots of coal from beating the dust brides and iron ores that we can use to make bombs if we want to do more Skull Cavern runs. Skull Cavern will always be a viable option to make lots of money. We just completed the special orders quest there for the wizard, and we also gave the wizard a void essence as well to complete another quest. It's Pam's birthday, she gets a rabbit's foot, and as we can see now we're on 5 out of 10 hearts with Pam. We're going to go to Robin, get a big shed upgrade. We're also going to purchase the workbench as well. We can attach lots of chests to this, making it very easy to craft all of the items in the game, as anything connected to the workbench will use a shared inventory. All of these special orders quests and help wanted quests are really paying off for us. We have so many prize tickets, we get to trade these in for some very powerful prizes, such as treasure chests, they sell for 5,000 gold a pop, magic rock candy, star drop tea. Now because it was still Pam's birthday today, I went back with the star drop tea, and that put her up to 8 out of 10 hearts, which was really nice. I made some big chests as well, and I'm going to put these all around the workbench. I'm going to fill those chests up with items needed to craft everything in the game over the next couple of weeks. We also grew a garlic on our farm, so the frog is going to give us another 5 golden walnuts for that. Now, we still needed a lot more key gems to get all of the recipes from Key Secret Walnut Room. Danger in the Deep is going for 50 key gems, so we're going to take that straight away. And because we can make so many staircases, we can finish those quests very quickly if we want to. We're also going to take on Dartman here, and we're going to play his game of darts. You can play this a total of 3 times, but every time you complete the game, the next game gets harder, as you get less darts to try to get the score of 301. We end up doing this all in one succession, which was nice. That was 3 more golden walnuts added to the roster for us. We now have a nice batch of ancient fruit wine, and you're going to see that scaled up dramatically over the next season or 2. We also got the mini obelisk recipe, and we're going to head down here to the basement, and we are going to repurpose all of these casks. All of that ancient fruit we got will go into the casks, because at the moment we don't have artisan, and there's no point just leaving all that precious wine rot inside a chest. Huge inflation is coming, so we gotta make that wine work for us, and it's going to work very hard aging inside those casks. So we're down in the dangerous version of the mines today, and it's an absolutely magnificent run. Now, I could have spammed staircases, but I wanted to enjoy the hard versions of the mines, and there's actually a lot of nice resources you can get from going down the 120 levels normally, such as key gems and other bits and bobs. So we're getting more rabbit's feet today, along with some high quality wool. Now, I could convert the wool into cloth, but I really just couldn't be bothered, so I'm just going to sell it raw. It was Shane's birthday today, so he gets a rabbit's foot. We now have Shane on 4 out of 8 hearts, so we're getting there with a lot of the NPCs. We're going to talk to Robin again today, and we're going to add lots of extensions to the house. We had the money to do so. All of these extensions will mean that we can fill up all these rooms with kegs or other artisan machines if we want to, just to save some space on our farm. We're also going to get Robin to make us a slime hutch. This will just activate the chances that slimes will drop slime eggs when they are defeated. It's just an extra passive money maker for us. We can also fill up the slime hutch with lots of kegs if we want to. You can now take the slime incubator out of the slime hutch as of patch 1.6, which is really nice. The mid levels of the hardened versions of the mines is probably my least favourite level in the entirety of this game. Between the spiders that jump around and the ghosts that give you that nasty debuff, the sooner I'm done with that part the better. I also purchased the warp totems to the desert recipe today, along with some more staircases. Reason for the staircases was I only had 1 day left to complete the hardened versions of the mines, so they were just an insurance policy. I got an achievement there called Danger in the Deep for completing that quest. That unlocks a Steam achievement as well, which is very nice. And we can now access the hardened versions of the mines anytime we like. We can toggle it on and off when doing that quest. We're now going to put all of these rhubarbs into all of these kegs that we have inside a big shed. And you're going to see at least 3 or 4 big sheds by the end of this challenge, just to get the ball rolling with the millions upon millions of gold that we need to get the warp obelisk and the gold clock. All of these mahogany seeds will be turned into mystic tree seeds, because we had plenty of acorns, maple seeds and pine cones. We need mystic tree seeds to get mystic syrup. That's needed to craft a handful of items in the game. We're getting more special orders quests, and now we are going to purchase some potatoes off Pierre so we can complete that quest for Pam. When you complete that quest, you actually get a new channel on your telly. It's a fishing channel, so it's a nice addition. After pulling up the last few golden walnuts we needed via farming, we had found 130 out of 130, which was nice. Total complete for perfection was now 45%, but over the next couple of weeks, especially when we start building the warp obelisks, you're going to see that percentage just plummet up into the sky. We're going to get some recipes now using the key gems as well. So deluxe fertilizer, hyper speed grow, and all of these recipes that we unlock, we will also have to make all these items as well to get the achievement where you craft every item in the game. So there's still a lot of work to do, but because we're making so much money now and because we're actively doing the key quests, you're going to see a lot of progression now flood in within the next couple of weeks, so prepare yourselves. Now, I want to make full use of the Ginger Island farm, so I'm going to put ancient fruit down here as well. That means we'll have a greenhouse filled up with ancient fruit and a Ginger Island farm filled up with ancient fruit. We made over 500,000 gold today, primarily from selling ancient fruit wine and raw starfruit. Now you're probably asking yourself, why didn't I convert the starfruit into wine? The short answer is I just didn't have the kegs to do it, and I didn't want the starfruit just sitting inside a chest until those kegs became available, because I can very easily buy and plant more starfruit. So there you go. Today was a day of gift giving, as you can see. We're also going to visit the dwarf as well, and we're going to purchase the big stone chest recipe off of him. We're also going to visit Sandy in the desert, give her daffodils. We stocked up on lots of daffodils now in spring because Sandy loves those. We're getting iridium quality daffodils. We also needed the final rare crow, which was the alien rare crow, so I did the slots here inside the casino until I had enough coins to get it. I also purchased some coins too just to speed up the process. The next day, because I had collected all the rare crows, the ZC Rare Crow Society have given me a recipe for the deluxe scarecrow. It's actually quite the scarecrow because it actually covers double the radius of that of a normal rare crow or scarecrow. We also attended the flower dance today as well, and we danced with the wife. We gotta play it clever if we want those babies. We're completing more of the raccoon quests as well. We got some fairy dust today as a reward. Fairy dust is always a magnificent prize to get. We're getting Robin to build more sheds, and we also have to do a lot of the Ginger Island unlocks too. Just got the fast travel there. Because we have all of the Ginger Island unlocks done, we can trade in the rest of our golden walnuts for key gems. What are we going to do to those key gems? We are going to purchase more recipes. We still need to do a lot more key quests though, if we're going to get all of the recipes from that walnut room. We finally made it into Caroline's secret sunroom here. She's going to give us a recipe for tea sapling later on. That's going to be nice. We're also spending a lot of time fishing. I'm not showing a whole lot of fishing because I decided to show other things instead, but we need a lot of different types of fish to craft all of the cooking recipes in the game. Now, as you can see, I got an absolute ton of recipes today. Reason for this is because I'm literally spamming gifts every other day if I'm not in the mines or if I'm not just going cavern runs. Now, I use fairy dust to instantly craft those potato juices for Pam, just to complete her quest of strong stuff that was 3000 gold in the bag. My foraging skill was maxed out, so in order to save time, I just decided to blow the trees away using bombs instead of using my axe. We're respecking farming again. We'll take the rancher, but now we are going to take the Coop master. Reason being, we can befriend Coop animals quicker. The reason for this is to ensure that we max out our rabbits friendships as quickly as possible, so they will give us iridium quality rabbit's feet. And that is probably one of the best loved gifts you can give anyone in the game, because it is simply an iridium quality loved gift that you can get every couple of days from your rabbits. We're going to go back to Robin again, and we are going to upgrade another barn to a big barn. We'll put cows and goats in there. I also gave in the sweet gem berry to the statue here in the secret woods, and that is the last star drop we needed. So we now have all of the star drops collected. We're now in summer. The big focus for this season is to max out Leo. I don't think we have a single heart with Leo. We've literally just been ignoring him for the whole of the first year. But if we can get him a good loved gift and a star drop tea for his birthday and bring him to the cinema, we'll more than likely max him out in one day, or almost max him out. Because it's summer, we're going to take full advantage now of our farm, and we're going to purchase thousands of starfruit. Despite the fact that we have iridium tools, it is not possible to plant thousands of starfruit in just one sitting, but we will try our absolute best to plant as many as we can. Now, it does take us the bones of 2 days to actually plant everything that we want, because not only am I planting tons of starfruit, I'm also going to plant at least 20 to 30 of every single summer crop you can get, just to ensure I have everything for the cooking recipes and that I ship at least 15 of each crop, just for the polyculture achievement that you can get on Steam. Despite the fact that I had now a farm filled up to the gills with starfruit and other bits and bobs, there was a small little mistake that really just killed me inside. It was the fact that I missed one whole line of crops with sprinklers. And I mean, you know, it just hurt me so bad to see that. I really didn't want to water that. I didn't want to make sprinklers either, so we'll never speak of it again. It is time for another key quest, 50 key gems as a reward, so we're going to jump into that straight away. Back to Robin, we are going to get her to upgrade our big barn now to a deluxe barn. Just means we can fit more animals inside. And we're going to go back into the hardened versions of the mines. Now, we're also getting radioactive ore inside here as well, and that's needed to make some of the recipes in this game. We also need to turn some of that into radioactive bars to make other recipes. And once we have all of the recipes made, any additional radioactive ores and bars that we get, we can sell for lots of money. Now today, we got a really cool drop. We got a cursed mannequin. These things have a mind of their own. Sometimes when you wake up the next day, your cursed mannequin will take all of the clothes you have and wear the clothes themselves. They can also make strange sounds towards you, and they can even move around as well. So if you're faint of heart, trust me, do not put it in your house. Now we got lots more radioactive ores today. We made it down to floor 120 without much hassle. We got 50 more key gems there. That brings us back up to 77 key gems. That means we can go back into Key's secret wand room now if we want, and we can purchase a lot more recipes. Now, we're not finished with the hardened versions of the mines just yet. We need to wipe out lots of dust sprites because we picked up a special orders quest for Clint. Those mushrooms are actually dust sprites reskinned. They just have higher HP and they hit a bit harder, so they count towards kill quests, which was nice. Now, because we haven't been on the farm for the past few days, the pigs have been working really hard and truffles have been accumulating, so lots of money there. We're going to hand in some geodes here and sea urchins to the raccoon. That's another quest complete. And if you notice, you'll see some little raccoon babies. Eventually they'll have about maybe 9 or 10 babies, and then we'll get the Steam achievement for helping the raccoons out. So lots more quests need to be done. Our greenhouse is now fully functioning with ancient fruit, so every couple of days we can grab that. For completing Clint's quest, he's going to give us the geode crusher recipe, which is needed for perfection. We're also going to pick up some recipes here too. We're going to purchase the hopper recipe for 50 key gems. Back over on Ginger Island, we now have a lot more ancient fruit that we're going to put down on the farm. Now, we have to be careful because we're still waiting on the quest Caroline can give us to get solar panels. There is a chance she may ask us to get some pineapples. That's why we're leaving the pineapple fruits there for now. But eventually, the whole of our Ginger Island farm will just be ancient fruit. We got lots of battery packs today. It was just so nice getting those. It means we can make more iridium quality sprinklers if we so wish. Now, the jades had been accumulating 151 staircases ready to go. I also purchased a portrait of Penny here in the hopes that this might persuade her to have kids with me, because she still has not asked me to have kids, and we need to have kids in order to get another Steam achievement. So fingers crossed, hopefully in the next few days that will actually happen. A lot more of the Stardew Valley NPCs are now being maxed out, which is nice. Penny is going to give us a choice here to pick a themed bedroom. We're going to go with the Forest and Moon Peaceful Blue, and in the next few days, Penny will have that done for us. We're now going to get some animals here. We're going to get a white cow, and we're going to call the cow Rebecca, which is one of our newer channel members. We're also going to get a goat. We're going to call the goat Chase 9912. Welcome to the GamerGar members, and you can become a channel member as well. It's just a few euro per month. All channel members get incorporated into GamerGar videos one way or another. It's now time to pick up another special orders quest. We're going to get crop order there with the good old Mayor Lewis. We got danger in the deep yet again. Now, I kind of got bored of going down to the floors normally, so this time I just decided to spam staircases and get the quest over and done with within a day. It was a nice, handy 50 key gems in the bag. It just means we can get more recipes now for the walnut room yet again. But we're very close now to getting all of the recipes, and any future key gems that we get, we can always pick up some other bits and bobs that might make our lives a little bit easier. Pierre's missing stock list, for example. We're going to pick up that now today, because that will give us access to all of the seasonal seeds, regardless of what season you're in. We're going to spend the rest of the day wiping out all of the trees on Ginger Island, because we need to make a lot more cakes. When I woke up the next morning, Penny had surprised us. We now have a really cool looking bedroom here. I absolutely love the decorations that Penny uses, especially the moon decorations. I gave Pierre his missing stock list. This is going to make it way easier now for us to ship 15 of every crop in the game. Way easier. It's also going to make it super simple for us as well to craft all of the recipes. In terms of the crafting recipes, I am slowly but surely adding items to all these chests, such as wood, hardwood, moss, seeds. Penny finally asked us the golden question, should we have a baby? I said yes straight away. The Stardew Valley Luau is going to be an absolute game changer event for us to get friendship points up with a lot of the NPCs that we need, so we just done the golden cauliflower there. We're going to make some heavy tappers today just to speed up the process to get these lovely mystic syrups. We need those to make a lot of the craftable recipes in the game, especially a lot of the 1.6 recipes, like the treasure totems for example. Now, we end up getting lots of different types of summer crops today. We get sunflowers, we also get other bits and bobs as well. We're going to go to Robin again, and this time we're going to get Robin to build us a mill, because we just don't have a mill on the farm. Eventually, we are going to cover the farm in hay, so we don't have to hoe the ground in fall, and that mill will convert all of our hay into bread for extra profits. We got some iridium quality rabbit's feet, and now it's time to play the nightmare minigame, Journey of the Prairie King. It's time to get our feet wet with this. We need 2 Steam achievements from this game. The first is to complete the game on normal mode. The second achievement is just crazy. We need to complete this game without dying once. Now, if we take a single piece of damage in this game, we die. So, it's a very stressful game. Now, every time we complete a few levels, we can get power-ups. The boot there increases our movement speed. The gun I just picked up there makes our weapon fire a lot faster. And the ammo pouch to the very right makes our weapon hit stronger. And it also penetrates enemies as well. So, from looking at other people play this game and from reading about, the tips you can utilize, it's all about getting those ammo pouches so your ammo is much, much stronger. But a lot of it too comes down to luck in terms of how often you get power-ups on every single level. Now, for my first attempt, I didn't do too bad. I made it to the kind of second zone here. If we want to get Vector's Challenge, lots of practice will be needed. Let's see if we can do it. Now, I made tons of bee houses today. These just give wild honey for now, but come fall, we'll set up a nice little fairy rose farm. It's just another passive money maker. Despite the fact that most of our money will come from starfruit wine and angel fruit wine, it's not a bad idea to have other passive money makers just to lessen that gap a little bit, especially when it comes to get 10 million gold for the gold clock. It can get very boring just waiting every few days for the ancient fruit to regrow and then pop it inside a cake. So I want to use as many money making tactics as I can, just to speed up the process a little bit. We're doing more raccoon quests today, dried mushrooms and some eggs. The prize was a star drop tea. I also unlocked the full potential of the raccoon shop. We can now get golden mystery boxes and magic rock candies, provided we have the materials to trade in for those. We're now going to visit Pierre and we are going to purchase an absolute ton of wheat seeds. The main reason for this is to just put down some placeholders so we don't have to re-hoe the ground. We also need to get some wheat as well for the crop orders quest that Lewis gave us. We're now going to get our first batch of mystic syrups. These are badly needed to make a lot of the endgame recipes. It is now time to harvest our first big batch of starfruit. All of this will be converted into starfruit wine and that will sell for huge quantities of money. It is now time to finally give Pam that pale ale she's been requesting for well over a year. So that's going to make Pam super happy today. And it also maxes Pam's relationship status with us. So we now have Pam 10 out of 10 hearts. Very nice indeed. It's now time to get the bus, go straight into the desert. We are going to purchase even more starfruit seeds from Sandy because we're only halfway there through the summer. So we're going to plant all these seeds back down at the farm to make even more money. After we collected our prized ticket, it is time to take on another special orders quest. We finally get the island ingredients from Caroline, but this time she wants us to pick up 100 pieces of ginger. And that's quite rare for me because normally I get pineapples, sometimes I get taro roots. If we want to get 100 pieces of ginger, we will have to visit this island almost every single day because only so much ginger spawns on a daily basis. So it is one of those quests where you have to grind it out. We will take a look at the key quests. We're going to take 4 precious stones, that's going for the most, 40 key gems. And that'll be easy enough to do. We just have to go back into the Skell caverns with our staircases. And once we get down far enough, we can start unleashing the bombs and it shouldn't take us too long to get some prismatic shards. But before we do that, we're going to scan Ginger Island to see if we can get lots of ginger today. We're also going to go to Robin, and we're going to put another shed down in our farm. We're still working away with getting the relationship points up with a lot of the Stardew Valley NPCs. So, the dwarf just got a rabbit's foot. We now have a lot of golden mystery boxes. I'm going to get Clint to break open all these just to see if I get anything that I can use. Everything there now primarily will be sold. I got tons of auto-petters today, auto-grabbers by just spamming staircases in the Skell caverns. I also got a lot of prismatic shards today as well, which I needed for the 4 precious stones for Mr. Key's quest. Any excess prismatic shards that we get, we can always either keep those in case we get another 4 precious stones quest, or we can give them as loved gifts to many of the Stardew Valley NPCs if we don't have any quality rabbit's feet. Now we just got 4 prismatic shards today, but we did get 500 iridium ores, which was very nice. We can turn a lot of those into bars and sell those for big money. Any extra mystic syrups we get that we don't need to put into the crafting bench, we can sell those for lots of money as well. We now maxed out Demetrius today, which was nice, and it's time to harvest all of the strawberries on our Ginger Island farm. Now I need to ship at least 15 of these for the polyculture achievement. We're also going to donate 4 prismatic shards to Mr. Key, and that's more key gems in the bag for us. Now with these key gems, we're going to get some additions here to help us in our quest of transfer items from one farm to the other. The Junimo chest is the perfect item for that. We respect farming again. We're going back to artisan because it's time now we start selling some artisan goods and we're going to get our money up dramatically. We have just under 500,000 gold at the moment. That is going to change quite drastically in the next couple of weeks. So the main tactic right now is to spam sheds, upgrade them to big sheds, fill them up with kegs and mass produce wine. And that's going very well for us at the moment. Now we made just over 867,000 gold today, primarily from selling rhubarb wine, ancient fruit wine, and excess ancient fruit that we just don't need because the crop regrows every couple of days. And that figure is going to get bigger and bigger because the more sheds that we output, the more crops that we grow, the more money we're going to see coming in. Because we have over 1 million gold, we're going to get our very first warp obelisk, and this will be the warp obelisk to the island. Now we end up going to Ginger Island almost every single day to get as much ginger as possible, just to complete the special orders quest for Caroline. It's very important we complete that quest because we need the solar panel recipe to get perfection. We're also coming up to Leo's birthday as well, so we're going to give him loved gifts now before the birthday just to get some extra friendship points with him. We just got some radish juice, tomato juice, we got pickled radish and pickled tomato as well. I wasn't sure what the raccoon needed, so I just got 2 of each type of item, and that completed another raccoon side quest. The reward was a star drop tea, thank you very much. We're giving the dwarf more loved gifts today, and that is the dwarf maxed out. It's time to take on another special orders quest today. We need to take the juicy bugs wanted because this will unlock another recipe which will allow us to make a special bobber that's also needed to craft all the items in the game. Caroline is now up on 8 hearts. It's also worth talking to the NPCs after giving them gifts for the extra bit of friendship gain as well. Clint is maxed out there as well. Now you don't need to max out these NPCs to learn all the recipes. I just prefer when they're all maxed out because it looks better when you're going through the completionist list at the end. Back over to Ginger Island, getting even more ginger. We're now going to collect starfruit wine today. This is going to sell for huge amounts of money. Today we make a grand total of just over 1.5 million gold. And with this gold we can get the rest of the warp obelisks. As we can see, we sold lots of starfruit wine. We also sold just raw starfruit as well. The reason for this is that all our kegs are processing ancient fruit at the moment and other bits and bobs, so all of the excess stuff I'm just selling to speed up perfection. As we can see, we have now shipped every single item in the game. That's one of every single item, so that is another achievement added to the bench for us. So we're making very quick progress at the moment. We're giving Caroline another rabbit's foot today, and we're also going to talk to her as well. That puts her up to 9 out of 10 hearts, so we're almost there with Caroline. Back to Ginger Island, of course, to get even more ginger. So it's time we give our baby a name, and we are going to call our first baby Roisin. Everybody say hello to baby Roisin. This is just a quick list of where I'm at in terms of friendship points with all of the Stardew Valley NPCs. Leo is at the very bottom of the list, but his birthday is coming up quite soon, and once we give him an iridium quality love gift with a star drop tea, it's going to max him out straight away. We're also going to go to Pierre's and we're going to purchase all of the fall crops in huge quantities, along with some vinegar and other bits and bobs, because very soon now we are going to tackle all of the cooking recipes the game has to offer. It is finally time to give Leo some more gifts. We're going to give him the star drop tea as well, and that is Leo maxed out right there. That is the power of star drop tea. It's just so good. It's probably one of my most favourite items in the game. We have finally hauled up a total of 100 ginger. We just have to put that into the shipping bin now, and that'll be Caroline's quest complete. We're going to get the rest of the obelisks today, so we're going to start by getting the Earth obelisk, then we're going to follow it up by getting the Ocean obelisk, and then we're going to get the Desert obelisk. And that's all 4 obelisks that have been unlocked for us. Leo is sending us some recipes here now. Mango sticky rice, thank you very much. Now once we have all of these recipes gotten, we'll be able to bang out some big perfection tracker achievements very quickly. The first will be crafting all of the items in the game, and the second will be making all of the cooking recipes in the game. And before you know it, we have perfection. But that's not the challenge complete. Oh no, we have to go for the 100%. So we're going to make a big start today on crafting all of the items the game has to offer. Now I've crafted a lot of these items already, but just to make sure I haven't missed anything, I'm going to click on each item on the list. Now at this moment in time, as far as I was concerned, I had unlocked every single recipe the game had to offer, but I was wrong. There was still a handful of recipes I needed to obtain. But it was still good vibes because every single item from this list that was crafted was an item I would not have to craft in the future. So the grind still had to be done. Regardless, it was just nice getting it done now rather than later. I did run out of stone alright a handful of times, but I did have a deconstructor, and all I had to do to get stone was to simply put a staircase into the deconstructor, and that'd give me back tons upon tons of stone. Now I needed to complete Willie's quest here that I accepted, which was Juicy Bugs Wanted. Completing this quest would give me a special lore that you need to craft as well, so it was down to the regular versions of the mines, wiping out insects here to get lots of bug meat. We also had another batch of starfruit, because we're now on the final day of summer, so we're going to get all of this starfruit as well will go into cakes, so we're going to get some serious money from this. This will help us get the gold clock. That's the next big thing now on our list. We already have the 4 warp obelisks. All of these truffles as well that the pigs are finding will come in handy, and having Ginger Island and the greenhouse filled up with ancient fruit is going to make life very easy for us as well. Now, despite the fact that it was the last day of summer, I didn't want to have to re-hoe the ground in fall, so I decided to plant wheat on the final day, wait a couple of days in fall, and then plant all the fall crops. And this is the last time we're going to see this lovely Moonlight Jellies event, because we are actually going to get 100% in the next couple of weeks, if you can believe it. Once we get perfection, which will happen very soon, the 100% comes fairly soon after. We are now entering into the season of fall, and this season is when all of the magic happens for us. The first thing we're going to do is purchase an absolute ton of crops off Pierre. We're going to get at least 30 of each crops. We're also working on Krobus as well with the friendship, so that's Krobus maxed out. We're going to go to Key's secret walnut room. We're going to take 4 precious stones. The reason why I took this and not Danger in the Deep is because I already had some free prismatic shards lying around the place. I just wanted some very quick key gems. I'm going to use all of the key gems to purchase pressure and nozzles. The pressure nozzles will increase the range of sprinklers, so if we replace all of these quality sprinklers with iridium sprinklers, and we also put pressure nozzles on them, that's going to give us a lot more space that we can work with on Ginger Island to plant crops. I had to purchase the warp totem to Ginger Island here for 10,000 gold. That's something I totally forgot about, so I needed to craft that now, to craft every single item in the game, and there we go. That's the craft master done. We're now practicing Journey of the Prairie King, and we just beat the first boss there. Now, I'm only going to show you a couple of attempts, but to be honest, it took me a long time to get fairly good at this game, good enough to beat this game, but there's a trick with doing this. You see, once you complete a level, you can exit the game and you can continue to journey anytime you want. So the trick is to complete a level, exit the game, sleep, save the game, and then continue on to the next level. If you die, you just reset the day. And that's what I had to do to complete those mini games. I suppose you can say that it's cheesing the challenge a bit, but I'll be brutally honest with you, I don't have 1,000 hours to, to put into this game to get to the level where I can perfect it. So this is what I had to do to get the achievements. I completed the level, I exited the game, I slept until the next day, and I played the game some more. Rinse and repeat, and before I knew it, I had the normal mode completed. Now, it was still very hard to do. I still had to get used to all of the new enemy types. I still died a lot. It was a huge struggle. Probably one of the, if not the hardest thing I had to do within Stardew Valley was to beat this game. And we're not even talking about Vector's Challenge yet. That's an entirely different beast of an achievement. Do I complete Vector's Challenge? Can I 100% this game? We're going to find out very soon. We're going to turn our slime hutch into a crystallarium shed, and all these crystallariums are basically going to start processing diamonds. Now, all of these ancient fruits were on gold stars, but I decided to get rid of the casks and just replace them with kegs just to make more money. It was then back to doing Journey of the Prairie King. Now, this is the final levels, and we've got these zombies, we've got these flies. Now, these flies can fly straight through objects. They're absolutely lethal. Despite the fact that the zombies were slow, there's so many of them and they take so many hits. Now, I get quite lucky here, and I picked up a combination of power-ups that basically allowed my character to turn into this bullet storm, and I just wiped out all of the enemies. And most of the times when I completed these levels, this is just what happened. I just got lucky with traps. If you rinse and repeat over and over again, eventually RNG will be on your side. You might pick up a shotgun or a machine gun, or you might get that circular powered up, and bullets just fly out from all over the place, and you just wipe enemies out left, right, and center. Picking up the extra lives was a game changer as well for me, because despite the fact that I was getting lucky with power-ups, sometimes I was still losing lives. Now when I got to the last boss, I quit out of the game straight away and I decided that I'll play the last boss the next day because I wanted to save my progress. We're now going to make some kegs, we're going to fill up some sheds, and that's going to mean even more money for us. As we can see, I've got a good few big sheds now on the farm and they're all filled up with kegs. We also have an absolute ton of tappers here producing oak resins for us, so we can make even more kegs if we want to. Oak resins being the bottleneck, of course, everything else comes fairly easy. Now, the final boss in Journey of the Prairie King was fierce hard, and I had huge problems trying to beat him. So what did I do? Well, I did what most people do. I went onto the wiki, watched some YouTube videos, tried to find out some sort of tactic that I could use to beat this boss, and by God, did I find the ultimate tactic. I found a way to totally cheese this encounter. If you stand exactly where my character is standing, you can avoid, I'd say, maybe 90 to 95% of the attacks this boss will throw at you. And as we can see, I'm getting all my hits in, the boss cannot hit me, but what you have to watch out for here are the ads the boss will summon. So what you're going to see now very soon is the boss summoning ads. So you have to quickly just, fire to the side and then fire back down again. You have to make sure that these ads don't hit you or you'll die. Now when I beat this boss, that was just the normal mode of Journey of the Prairie King complete. We still had to do this whole thing without dying a single time. And I can tell you right now, even if you do one level, sleep, save the game, do another level, rinse and repeat, it is still ferociously hard. It is so hard to go through every single level with this game without dying. It takes so much patience, so much commitment, and there's a handful of levels in the game that almost broke me, I'm not going to lie to you right now. It was a crazy challenge. Like, I've played all the Dark Souls games, I've played Elden Ring, I've played Bloodborne, and I can tell you right now, this minigame is harder than all those games put together. It did feel really good when I got to the end scene here because it unlocked an achievement for Stardew Valley, and it's been a very long time since I got a Stardew Valley achievement, let me tell you. And not many people have that achievement that play Stardew Valley. If you open up Steam and you open up the percentage of people that have those trophies, it's a very small percentage of people. So it was nice to get that. But now we have a few more things to focus on here. We have all of the items crafted, we've everything shipped off. We have to cook up all of the cooking recipes to get perfection. We also need the gold clock. So there's not much else to do other than harvest all of these crops and just rinse and repeat. Now all of these crops, a lot of them will be sold to get the polyculture achievement, but the rest will be put into fridges. Now I know I don't need a lot of these crops, but when it comes to cooking recipes I'm really bad for it. And I know I can just open up a wiki to see exactly what I need to cook up the recipes, but it was just simpler for me to just put basically 5 of everything into all of the fridges and then just cook everything together. Now today we got a big surprise in the mail. The development team of Journey of the Prairie King have sent us an arcade system. This means we can now play the minigame in the comfort of our home. So the trick now to Defector's Challenge is to put this machine beside our bed, play one level at a time. If we complete the level without taking damage, we will simply play through the rest of the Stardew Valley day, go to sleep, and then play another Prairie King level. And we will rinse and repeat that until we have the home game cleared. Now I can tell you right now, it's easier said than done. This game will break you, especially if you're going for Defector's Challenge. It can get very frustrating. But take my advice, if you get frustrated, just take your dog for the walk, or if you have an animal. If you don't, just go for the walk anyway. put on some Spotify or some YouTube music videos. I went for plenty of walks when I was trying to complete this challenge because I got frustrated quite a lot. Now it's always nice to run around Ginger Island, run around your farm with the scythe and just get all those lovely crops, put them into kegs and just wait for the big money to come in. Now this is the first level and we are now attempting Defector's Challenge. And it's quite simple. We will rinse and repeat this level until we can pass it without dying once. Now it's all about RNG, to be honest with you, because you get swarmed by enemies. If you get a good power up on the weapon earlier rather than later, you're sorted. Now I just died there, so we're going to start all over again. Now I'm not going to show you every attempt, because if I did, this video would be probably over 24 hours in length. I'm going to show you primarily the attempts where we managed to beat the level without taking damage. Now, I just got a power up there where all of the bullets kind of fly out from all sides of my character. If you get that, you're sorted. Now, the power-ups don't last forever. Also, if you focus on the top of the screen, you'll see a timer. Once that timer goes to 0, the enemies will stop spawning. Now, that is more than likely the last death I'm going to show there, because what I'm trying to get across here is the frustration when it comes to trying to do these challenges. Once I beat the first level, I quit out of the game straight away, and we're going to play through another Stardew Valley in-game day, and then we'll do the next level tomorrow. And that's all we have to do until Vector's challenge is completed. Now, I made almost 1.5 million gold today. It was really nice. A lot of that gold came from Asian fruit, strawberries. Look at the starfruit wine, 1 million gold there. And that's something we can achieve every couple of days because we have so many kegs now. And we have so much starfruit, so much ancient fruit. Look at the radioactive bars. 4,500 gold a pop. I also sold lots of other items I normally wouldn't sell, simply because I don't need it. Now, when it comes to doing Vector's challenge, those ammo pouch upgrades are extremely important. They will increase the damage of my weapon. Also, they will pierce through enemies. So the more of those ammo pouches I can get, the more coins I can pick up, the easier that journey of the Prairie King is going to be. Now, we're just getting wild honey at the moment. I also put down some mushroom logs, and I've got mushroom trees with tappers as well, just to add some variety to the farm. I also made lots of dehydrators, just to add a lot more passive money makers to the farm as well, because dehydrators can make you lots of nice money. So I got a broccoli juice and a pickled eggplant here for the raccoon. As we can see, the raccoon family is now much bigger, and we're very close now to getting the Steam achievement to fully helping out the raccoon family, to making them thrive. Because it's a new day, we're doing another Journey of the Prairie King challenge, and as we can see, I got very lucky now and I got that powered up. Now, this must have been like, you know, the 10th or 11th attempt, and I'm not joking when I say that. A lot of attempts are needed to beat all these levels without taking a single piece of damage. Once that level was done, as per usual, we exit out of the machine and run around our farm to get all of the lovely goodies that we can sell. Now, we finally have unlocked all of the recipes in the game, so we're now going to craft every single recipe the game has to offer. We're going to sell all of these recipes for extra money. I know some recipes don't make you a profit, but you know what? At this stage of the game, I don't really care. I got the gourmet chef recipe there now, which was nice, crafted every recipe. So we are now one step closer to getting perfection. All we need now actually for perfection, believe it or not, is to obtain the gold clock. Once that is done, perfections is more or less finished. Now, I made lots of money today, primarily from selling ancient fruit wine. I also sold a lot of dried goods as well, that sold for lots of money. As we can see, we're doing another level of the Prairie King, and we got some super upgrades here, which was nice. It's just decimated so many enemies. Now, what's really important about doing the Prairie King is collecting as many coins off the enemies as possible. I didn't have enough coins for the next ammo upgrade, so instead I got the gun upgrade, and this just increases your rate of fire. Now, just to make some more money on the side, I'm going to use a lot of my resources, and I'm going to build tons of solar panels. I'm going to put them out in the desert. It's a great way to make money, because you don't get rain out in the desert, so every few days we can just visit the desert, pick up the battery packs, and out we go. Once we beat the first boss there, which was the cowboy, we exited, started the game, and it was back to the Stardew Valley farm. And as you can see, there's a bit of a cycle going here, you know. We're basically playing Journey of the Prairie King, we're running around the farm, making sure all of our passive money makers are working away, we're going to bed, waking up the next day, doing another level, rinse and repeat. So eventually what you're going to see is the gold clock coming in very quickly, and then hopefully we'll complete Journey of the Prairie King fully without taking a single piece of damage. Because a lot of the fairy roses have now grown on the farm, we're now getting fairy rose honey. That sells for 952 gold a pop because we have artisan. That is very nice for honey. It is another day, you know what that means. It is time for another Journey of the Prairie King. We also got the polyculture achievement there as well. You would not believe what I was missing to get that achievement complete. It wasn't the fall crop, it wasn't the strawberries, it was parsnips. I had not shipped 15 parsnips. But I mean, if you think about it, I rarely sell parsnips in spring. Normally it's kale or it's potatoes or something like that, you know? So there you have it, one more achievement added to the list. Now, we almost have 3 million gold, but that's going to go up very quickly now because of the amount of starfruit wine we're going to get today, along with other bits and pieces as well. So if we take a look at the overall total, we made almost 2 million gold today, primarily from starfruit wine, which is just crazy. Now, we will run out of starfruit very soon, and then it'll just be ancient fruit wine, but because we have So much ancient fruit, we're still going to make tons of money every couple of days. Now this level here that I'm playing in Journey of the Prairie King almost broke me. I kid you not, it took me about 20 attempts to beat that level without getting killed. It was such a hard level. We're now taking on the second cowboy boss, and just like the first, this is a very simple encounter because we have cover, unlike the last boss. I don't know why I'm picking up the lives, because I simply just don't need them. I suppose it's just a habit at this stage. Today starts with a collection of lots of lovely raisins, and these sell for extraordinary amounts of money. Now you can also give these to Junimos to give them some special powers, but we don't have Junimos on this farm, and we're not going to be getting Junimos either because we don't need them for 100% completion. The warp obelisks make it so easy to get around Stardew Valley. We can simply warp over to Ginger Island, warp back home. We can warp anywhere we want to, really. It's just so handy to have those. Over on Ginger Island, our house here is filled up to the top with kegs as well. And that's where a lot of our money has come from also. So we have a big operation over on Ginger Island, and we have a big operation over on a regular farm. We were now into the final levels of Journey of the Prairie King. Vector's challenge was within my grasp. Now at this moment in time, I both felt very frustrated, but also very motivated, knowing how close I was to actually 100%ing Stardew Valley for the very first time. I have done numerous 100-day challenges with this game. I have gotten perfection loads of times, but I have never 100%ed this game. So every time I got killed in one of these levels, I can tell you right now I got killed a lot, it just gave me more motivation to try again and again because I was so close. Eventually, luck does end up taking my side. I get the power-ups I needed to push through. Now, I didn't have a whole lot of coins to get any power-ups there, so we're just going to take the coins we have, keep them, and just plow ahead. Back on the farm, we have an absolute huge amount of truffles here. Those pigs are probably one of the best investments that I've put on this farm since day one. They're absolutely amazing. All of those truffles I pick up, because I have some really good foraging perks, sometimes I pick up double truffles and they're all iridium quality, so I can just sell them all as they are, don't even have to process them in the truffle aisle. It's now back to Journey of the Prairie King. Now this I believe is maybe the third last level or second last level, but just like the previous level, it was very hard to do this as well. The problem wasn't the mummies, it was those godforsaken flies. They'd literally come out of nowhere and they'd snipe you. And all they need to do is make contact and it's game over. Now, that item I picked up there is called a nuke, and if I activate that, it wipes out every single enemy on the map. But the problem is that if you use the nuke, none of the enemies will drop items, and I really needed to get some more coins. Just to kind of drive my point home, here is a very quick example of what I went through, a very small example of what I went through to complete the second last level of Journey of the Prairie King without getting killed once. Just take a look at all of these deaths. Now you might think to yourself, oh, you died a lot. This is absolutely nothing. I died about 100 times on this level before I completed it, before the gods of RNG took mercy upon my soul and gave me the power-ups that I needed in order to get through this level. It took patience, it took grit, it took everything I had to get this level done without taking a single piece of damage. This level, oh, it was a hard level. That's all I'm going to say. But once I got that machine gun upgrade, I knew I had a chance. I knew everything was going to be okay. When the nuke dropped there as well, it was just sorted. One power up after the next. Now as we can see, there was still a lot on the timer, but I had some fairly good power ups. I also had a nuke in the bag as well, so I could activate that nuke anytime I wanted. But I decided to wait until my big power up was finished, and I would only use the nuke when I really needed it. I did consider resetting the challenge and starting back on day one in the hopes to get more coins, to get better power-ups before I got to this level, but to be honest, I just couldn't give up at this stage. Despite the fact that I died about 100 times on this stage, I just didn't have the heart, I didn't have the patience to go back all the way to level 1, especially because I was so close. I mean, it's like Frodo Baggins going up the volcano with the ring, you know. It's like you're so close, but at the same time it's just so difficult. After multiple attempts, hundreds of attempts, we finally beat the second last level of Journey of the Prairie King. Well done, champion! Leave the arena now and rest. You've earned it! By God, did I earn it. It was our time to take on the final boss, which was Vector himself. But before that, we are going to quit straight out of the game and we are going to challenge him the next day. Despite the fact that I had a good cheese strategy for him, there was absolutely no way I was doing that fight until I had one in-game day behind me, just in case I got wiped out by him. Now, he did actually kill me a few times because the ads got to me, so I made the right call by waiting for the next day to fight him. But once I beat him, I finally did it. I unlocked Vector's challenge, the hardest Stardew Valley achievement in the game. Oh, it felt so good getting this achievement. And I thought to myself, you know, a few months ago when I started this challenge, I said to myself, how on earth am I going to complete that journey of the Prairie King? Because over the past couple of years that I've been playing Stardew Valley, sometimes if I'm a bit bored, if I want to experiment, I do put on the minigame to see how far I can get, and I always get destroyed. So it was good to get that done. It was also another quest there done for the raccoons, and as we can see, they have lots of kids now, so we're very close to getting that Steam achievement to helping out the raccoon family. All we need now is the gold clock, and we have perfection. And 100% will unlock for us once we get that cute little cutscene of the raccoons dancing around the place. Now, we're not really making a profit here by drying out the ancient fruits, but the process only takes one day, and because I had so many ancient fruits lying around the place, it made sense to just put a big bunch of them into dehydrators to get some quick cash, rather than make more kegs all the time. Each dried fruit came in at 5,810 gold. It was a very nice money maker indeed. Back to the desert, we get to collect all of these beautiful battery packs. We're going to sell those for lots of money. I had a quick look at Key's secret walnut room just to see what kind of quests he had. I decided to play a little bit of Junimo Kart, and I just wanted to share my progress with how I'm doing with Junimo Kart. I've made significant progress with this game. I can now comfortably get into the later levels. This is a mushroom level, and this was the furthest I ever got. So that score was 74,150. That's my best score so far with the endless mode. We're now going to collect all of this ancient fruit wine. We're going to bring this to Pierre and sell him the wine today. The reason why we're sending it to Pierre directly is because I want to get the gold clock today. I want to get perfection. I want to get this challenge over and done with. Once I sold Pierre all of my lovely ancient fruit wine, I had just over 10 million gold. 10,413,956 gold. It was off to the Wizard's Tower. We're going to activate the Wizard's Terminal, and we are going to pay 10 million gold for the gold clock. Prevents debris from appearing on your farm, keeps fences from decaying. With the gold clock added to the farm, that actually unlocks perfection for us, so we can now stroll up to the pier if we so wish, and we can look at the perfection end scene. Now, we still don't have 100% completion. Oh no. To actually 100% this game, we need to sort out the raccoons, and we'll do that very soon. But first, let's just enjoy this nice little snippet here of perfection. You do need perfection, of course, in order to 100% the game, so it's always nice to get this. Now, this is where a lot of Stardew Valley content creators stop. Once they get perfection, they say, right, that's it. That's the challenge done. I just wanted to go a step further with this video and claim the last star, which is good neighbours. Help your forest neighbours grow their family. Now, I got a nice surprise and I went back down to see if the raccoon had any quests, and I was actually greeted with a really nice cutscene of the raccoons. And that was the final achievement, and that actually unlocks 100% for us, so we now have all of the Steve achievements got. When this happened for me personally, I was on a huge high because it was the very first time I got all of the Stardew Valley Steam achievements, so it's just nice having it on an account, especially an account that has thousands upon thousands of hours put into Stardew Valley. So I really did owe it to myself to just push ahead that little bit more and grind out those last few achievements that I needed. Journey of the Prairie King is actually quite a fun game to play. It can be quite frustrating. The game even has a hard mode. I can tell you right now, folks, I'm never going to play that game on hard mode. It's just not going to happen. And I really hope Concerned Ape doesn't release any more achievements in relation to that game. If you've made it this far into the video, thanks a million for watching. I really do appreciate your time. I hope you had fun watching as well. You might consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more GamerGar content. I hope you have a lovely week, everyone, and I'll see you very soon in the next GamerGar video. Bye for now.